Welcome to, for what a lot of people is my most anticipated video of the year, which is going to be my big eyeshadow palette declutter. This is going to be the fourth part of my declutter series. I will leave the other playlist, I will leave it down below in case you want to check out the other parts, because like I said, I do this every year. This is a yearly tradition, and this is the fourth part this year. And we will have a fifth part as well, which is going to be lip products. This year, I'm trying to downsize a little bit extra because we are moving back to Europe, and I also am no longer, come 2026, going to be a full-time YouTuber. So I don't need to save a lot of palettes for, completionists and like collection and for comparisons, because I will still be saving the swatches that I have of the palettes. I just don't have a need to keep as much in my collection. I'm trying to, for myself, be a little bit more brutal in my declutter, and you will see that in this video as well. I do not give away any of my used makeup to my subscribers, so please don't ask for it in the comments. I do though have ongoing giveaways on my channel where you can win big mystery boxes filled with makeup, beauty, and tools, and those are ongoing on my channel. It's going to be in a couple of the new makeup releases that says giveaway on the thumbnail. Just click on those and enter the giveaway in case you want to win some unused makeup. My used makeup I give away to people here around me, here in Austin. I don't want to send away like used makeup to my subscribers. I just want to let you know, because I do keep getting comments about that every year when I do my declutters. Also, thank you so much to my husband coming back to editing another video here on my channel. I'm really excited for him to be helping out. This is his yearly contribution, his yearly project where he's editing my declutter series. And thank you so much for all the positive feedback and comments that we've been getting as well. You really seem to be appreciating his snarky sense of humor, and I also feel like it's really showing the sense of humor that he and I have in between ourselves in our marriage, and it's appreciated that you seem to think that that is fun and snarky as well. So big thank you to Ricardo for helping. Please don't forget to let him know in the comments that you appreciate the work that he's been doing, and let's get into the declutter. This is going to be a big one. It's going to be hundreds and hundreds of palettes, and I am getting rid of quite a few. Well, this is going to be batch 1 of 2,645,000. I'm exaggerating, but I do have quite a lot of eyeshadow palettes, so buckle in because there's gonna be quite a few. I am gonna start, right now I pulled out some of the containers from my cabinets that contain things that are not brand new. They've been in my collection, they have been sorted into size and brand and all of that. And when we get towards the end of this video, the end of the declutter, we're gonna pull out some newer palettes that for one reason or another haven't been sorted into the right place. I think I mentioned this in the beginning, but we are moving back to Europe. We're living in Texas right now, but we are gonna move back to Europe. And I definitely don't want to bring things for the sake of bringing things. So I'm gonna be kind of cutthroat. I'm not gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna get rid of probably more than people would expect, because I do have quite a lot of people here that actually do want to get a hold of the makeup that I am decluttering. And also, I'm gonna be honest with you, some of this at this point is so old that I don't want to put it on my eyes anyways. And come January, I'm no longer going to be a full-time YouTuber, so I also don't need to keep things for the sake of keeping them. I do save my swatches though, and there's no reason why I couldn't use my swatches and show them in YouTube channels, even though I can't physically hold up the palette. So let's go through some of these things. Let me move some of these to the side. Woo! And let's start here in the middle. First, we have the little quads by Colourpop. These are going to be the little Zodiac quads. And as you can probably tell, some of these are actually quite used. This one in particular, this is the one that is called The Secret Life of a Scorpio. I have actually used and traveled with this one quite a lot. This one, and I think these 4 are my most used ones. So it is the Cancer, the Scorpio, the Aries, and this one that's called On the Mango. This was part of Fruit collection that they had. I'm gonna be honest with you, as I'm right now, when I'm traveling, I haven't been traveling with these because I've actually been traveling with the palettes from my own brand. I should be showing you those as well. I'll bring those out so I can show you, because I'm clearly not decluttering them. But I think at this point, I really did enjoy these at the time, and this has definitely, these have been getting a lot of use, but I don't use them when I'm not traveling, and this year, I haven't been traveling with them, so I'm actually gonna get rid of them. Oh my god, look at me, I'm getting rid of stuff already, I feel so good about myself. I also have, this one is from Lethal Cosmetics. This is a quad that I think I made myself. I think I'm gonna get rid of some Lethal Cosmetics this time because I know they're going through a rebrand as well, and a lot of the things that I have from them are actually kind of old. So I think I might get rid of some of the Lethal ones as well. This one I don't want to get rid of. Oh, I want to break into this one again. This is a Prada quad. This is a dark shade. This quality is so good. I have this in, is it called Dimensions? I don't know, but it's I think it's number 3. I mean, it's very fingerprinty. Don't look at that. This is actually really good quality. Probably the best quality luxury shadows I've ever used. Definitely keeping that one. Then I have a Charlotte Tilbury quad. This is fine, but I think I'm gonna get rid of this one because as you can tell, this is not the color story that I reach for a lot. I also have one of these small ones from Viseart. I think I'm gonna give this one to my friend. I actually really like Viseart, but I don't reach for cool tones like this a lot. So I think I'm gonna give it to her because she does love cool tones like this. And then we have the Made by Mitchell. This is a brand that I'm like, you know, I'm very on and off with this one, very hot and cold. I will say the quality, there's nothing wrong with the quality, but what the actual fluff is this packaging? Made by Mitchell has some of the ugliest packaging in the game. I mean, he's killing it on TikTok, so I mean, don't listen to me, but this packaging is atrocious. There's nothing wrong with the quality of these shadows, but I don't reach for this one, so I'm actually gonna get rid of that one too. Oh my god, I am absolutely killing it. So far, I'm keeping one. I am killing it. We have one from LH Cosmetics. This one I've never used. This is a collab that they did. This looks beautiful. Smoke It Out palette. Look at this. This actually looks beautiful. Wait, I'm so inspired. I'm keeping this. I want to use it. Then we have the Sultry palette. This is the one I broke. Oops. I'm actually going to get rid of this one because I don't need that many neutral palettes, and I did accidentally break this, and I also think my friend might be snagging this because she loves neutrals. Then I have the 1993 palette. This is with Swedish YouTuber Margareta Gräs. I have not met her in so long, and I miss her, and when I get back to Sweden, I really want to hang out with her again. This is beautiful. Definitely keeping my friend's palette. This is the Tartelette Jewel palette. I used to travel with this one a lot, and I still think it's really beautiful, but again, I haven't used this outside of traveling, and I haven't traveled with it at all this year. And when I haven't even like looked at a palette or opened a palette in a year, it's time to let that baby go. Then we have the Plum Perfection by DD Signature. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Why have I not used this one? Wait, this is stunning. Stunning. Why have I not used? Okay, I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna use that. I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay, don't open that door. This is the Blomma, which means flower in Swedish. Have I never used it? This is just... Someone call the police. Straight to jail. This is like actually a color story that I really enjoy. What is wrong with me? Again, don't open that door. I'm keeping those, and I'm gonna... Maybe I'll travel with those when I go home for Christmas. This is Lethal Cosmetics. These are singles. Again, I'm gonna get rid of some of my Lethal Cosmetics singles because I do think they're going through a rebrand. Oh, let me put the palettes I'm actually keeping in this little thingamabob over here. Look at me. And then we have 2 quads from Kaleidos. I have no idea what they're doing. We have the purple one, and we have the slightly less purple one. I do want to keep one at least, so maybe I'll keep the bright purple one. I'll keep the bright purple one and I get rid of this one again. I haven't used it in a bit, but I don't want to get rid of everything Kaleidos because I love Kaleidos so much, and I'm so sad that they're not like as active. I need something. Okay, let me bring out like the big basket to actually put these things in, like this. There we go. Look at me. Look at me being like, trying to get stuff ready. Okay, we have a couple of more Viseart here. I actually, like I said, I really like Viseart's quality, and I really love Viseart's quality. I kind of want to keep this one. This is the one that is called Bichouette. We'll keep that one. Like I said, I do like Viseart. I also love this one, the Violette Attendu. Like the color story of this one, it's like neutrals meets bright purples, and it's great quality. I'm gonna keep it. This one I have traveled with this year. This is the Spritz Edit. I actually did bring this one traveling this year, so it definitely gets, I mean, I've used it and I've enjoyed it. It gets to stay. Then I have the Paris Edit. This one I might get rid of because it's like a neutral cool tone. I don't reach for this one as much. And then we have the Dark Edit. I love this one. Look at that. Okay, sir, behave. Look at how cool that is. So I'm saving that one too. Okay, keep 4 of my Viseart. Oh, and I have this one. This is London Etoile. Do I need to keep this one too? No, I'm gonna get rid of this one. Although I like that it's like a small one. No, I'm getting rid of it. They're also small. Oh, this one I bought when I was in... this is actually really good quality. I want to keep this and use this again. I've been a little bit more into neutrals, and I kind of want to use this together with some other neutrals. This is Sueva Quad that I bought when I was in Australia, and I actually really think it's pretty. Here's another one of these color pops. Again, I'm gonna get rid of it. Oh, I love this one. This is the Sugar palette by ABH. Dang, this is so beautiful. This is, to me, an interesting, like, neutrals meets colors palette. This is the Nude Medium from Huda Beauty. I have not used this in a hot minute. Maybe I can get rid of some of these. This is the matte one that has some creams in it. And then we have the Wild. Have I used any of these? I don't even know. I think I'm gonna keep these two, actually. Because I do think that... Again. Or will I? What's the point, Angie? Why are you doing this? No, I'm getting rid of these. Okay, I'm trying to be a little cutthroat. I feel like I'm doing a good job. This is a Lethal Cosmetics. Ooh, this is also a palette that I made with them. Again, I do think they're getting all of these shades are so old. So I'm gonna get rid of the singles that I have. But look at these. I have, pretty sure, all of the minis by Natasha Denona. There was also a quad here. This is the Cena quad from Game Beauty. This is actually really, really pretty. I do really like this one. Am I gonna keep this? You know what? I will keep this. I did travel with this once this year, and I actually do really like the quality of that one, so it gets to stay. These are all the minis from Natasha Denona. I have a video here on YouTube. You can search for my name and like Natasha Denona mini palettes. I have a video where I am ranking all of these, letting you know which ones are my favorites and which ones I think are meh. I don't see myself making content like that anymore where I'm like trying everything from a range. So I think that I am just gonna pick out the ones that I actually think are like my favorites, and I do think like these two really nice, both of the Valentine's palettes, like minis that she's done. Both of these are really nice. I'm gonna keep those. I also think that like overall, oh, I really like this one. What is this one called? The Mini Sendo. I know not everybody liked this, but I think this one is great. I actually did travel with that one as well this year. These two I've traveled with a lot. It's the Mini Xenon and it is the Mini Sculpt. These are just perfect. That's what I'm saying. I really feel like these together would be such a fun, I shouldn't say fun, it's neutral. My husband is probably like, what do you mean? But like I'm saying, I do think that those could be really good together. These are not the best blue eyeshadows in my collection. Let's get rid of those. This one, I wish that they have done a better job with the Mini Metropolis, because Metropolis is such a good palette. I hope she re-releases that one day. I never really loved this one. This is the Mini Retro palette. I also really don't love the big retro palette either. This one is really good quality. This is the Mini Bronze, right? This one is really, really good quality. I might save that one. The pastel one, I didn't really see the point in, and I like the Mini Pastel from Vanessa Myricks much more. Then we have a couple of... This is the Mini Star. Not the best quality. This is the Mini Glam. It's a little bit too cool tone to be perfect for me. Then we have the Mini Sunset, right? This is also not the best Natasha Denona quality. This is very old. This is the Mini Gold. Again, it's nice, but I have better greens in my collection. This is the pinky one, the Mini Rose palette. It's fine, but I don't like it as much as I like the Mini Sendo palette. That works better for me. Then we have Mini Biba. This one actually is really good quality, and it has a cream to powder. We'll keep that one. We have a Mini Nude. It's fine, but I think I prefer the bronze one, so I'll get rid of that one. And then we have a My Dream Mini palette, which is more cool toned and not always what I go for. And then we have, oh, I did really enjoy the Starlit palette actually. I'll keep the Starlit and get rid of this one. Oh my gosh. I feel so accomplished. She is a pro. Okay, let's see if we can dig out some of the palettes from this pile here. Oop. And see what we have. I feel like a lot of people will talk about palettes as like their unicorn, you know, the one that got away. And I feel like for a lot of people, the one that got away, oh, I actually do have a couple of palettes. Maybe I'll see if I can remember and show you those at the end, palettes that my friends have made. I have those in a different place. I'll try and remember to show you those at the end, because I do have the other Kaleidos palette, the one that I did, which is the Club Nebula palette, that's in a different position. This is the Escape Pod palette. This is a very nice palette, but I have not reached for this one in a hot minute. You can even tell the glue is starting to come off. I think it's beautiful though. I love Kaleidos. I think it's time to start letting some things go. I do have the Amy Loves palette with Adept that probably should go on the shelf as well as like collab palettes by friends, because I love Amy and she did her perfect cool tone palette. Like I've already mentioned, cool tones isn't necessarily my favorite because me and Amy have very different colorings and very different preferences, but I think she did a great job with the color story and it is very her, so definitely keeping that palette. This one, I think, is a lot of people's unicorn, the one that got away. This is the Kaleidos Deep Sea Luster palette. This is the first eyeshadow palette that they ever coming out with. This was before they were popular on social media, and this is how I discovered Kaleidos. This has gotten discontinued and did not come back in stock, and this is what it looks like. It's really beautiful. It's a row of neutrals, and then it's more like warm jewel tones. A lot of like special shades in here. Very interesting color combos. And this is one of those that has special shades that are not so special that they're unwearable. And also like a thinner consistency that just looked beautiful on the eyes. And I know for a lot of people, like I said, this is the one that got away. I'm definitely keeping this one because I do think it's beautiful. But yeah, it is interesting that I still have that in my collection. And I still see people mentioning that one. That one is too old for me to use though, because it's like 7 or 8 years old. Like 7 at least. I'm not using that. This is the Citronata palette by what is their name again? I think it's Glam Shop. It's a Polish brand. I really like the color story in this palette, and it's a very inspiring to me. And one day, I think this has been discontinued, but one day I would also like to do a yellow palette because I love yellow so much. I'm gonna keep this one because I think it has beautiful shadows in here. I have not used this one in a hot minute, but I just think it's so unique to my collection and I love it. This is the Deep Sea Treasures by Cleona. This is a new palette in my collection. I will be keeping that one. Then we have the Glaminatrix Cosmetics Rich Romantics. Oop. This is not my absolute favorite palette from Glaminatrix. I do think that some of these special shades, I don't know if you can see it in the mirror, they all kind of have this green shift, and I kind of wish that they wouldn't have gone for all special shades. So I think it's beautiful, but it's not my absolute favorite, and I think I have this color story in other palettes too, so I'm actually going to give that one away. I have the Barely Basics by them as well. This is what that one looks like. This is probably my favorite neutral palette from them, so I'm thinking I'll hold on to that one. Then we have the Crow palette. This is the Wicked Widow and the Crow. This one has a very interesting color story, but it's very cool tone. A couple of these mattes are very similar, and unfortunately these shimmers do crease on me. It is a crying shame because I do think that they look incredible swatched out, but they are very emollient and they do crease on me. I'm actually going to give this one to someone else because the color story is just not my absolute favorite. We have the Cyborg Choir. This is by Adept Cosmetics. This is probably my favorite color story from them. I think it's just a very interesting color story, and this actually has some really interesting mattes as well, which I do think sometimes is what Adept is missing. I really like this one, so let me keep that one. And then the Samarian Sunset. Same here. I think this color story is probably my second favorite from them, so I'm going to keep this one too. The Element 115. I think this is fine. But I was expecting something else, and there's just something about this one that's just, it doesn't feel as thought through, so I'm actually going to get rid of that one. I also have the new palettes by Cleona. I did have the original ones of these. I am going to keep these. There's the Archeo, the Paleo, and the new Oceano. I've said the Oceano has some really interesting single shadows in here, and I kind of want to like dig in. Like this one here, Moana. Lua. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's such a gorgeous shade. And I really want to get more use out of these. And also they are pretty new, so I'm definitely keeping them. Here is another palette. This is Kaleido's Flower Punk palette. This color story is just so beautiful. I have not used this in a hot minute, and I don't foresee myself digging into this one either. But I will for always remember this palette with fondness, because this is when Kaleido's was like truly amazing. The color stories, the packaging, the innovation. I just wish we could get this back. I just wish we could get this Kaleido's back, because this was great. This was so good. Here we have Glaminatrix Nocturnal palette. I really like the color story of this one. We also have this one that is, both of these color stories are so good. I don't know if they still have these. Do they still have these? I literally have no idea if they still have these. But both of these color stories are really great. Some of my favorite color stories from Glaminatrix. I think I'm going to keep both of those. Here is a palette that is, according to me, too large and in charge. This is the Ellie Starr and Brittany Huffman Best Mattes. I think the concept of this palette and the idea of this palette just having the best mattes, I think that's great. Where I think they went wrong is that it's too big. It's so big that I can't like really store it anyway. I never bring it out because it's just so incredibly large, which is a shame because there are a couple of like really incredibly fun shades in here. But I don't bring them out because it's just too much. So I am gonna give this one away as well. It's too large. I kind of forget about it. I also have the Dragon Fruit palette. This is Cleonad and Emily Violet Marie's palette. I'm actually going to get rid of this one because it is an all shimmer palette and it is not as new as the other one. And again, I don't want to just bring things to bring things. I don't always reach for all shimmer palettes. That's just honestly how it is. Okay, then we have a bunch of Nomad palettes. Are all of these Nomad palettes? I think all. Oh my gosh, did I have a full basket of just Nomad palettes? Okay, so I have even more Nomad palettes here. They're like newer palettes, but that like shocked me. I don't know why. I don't know why it shocked me. It shouldn't shock me. Okay, this is the Nomad Fuji 5 Lakes. This is one of my favorite color stories from Nomad. I really, really enjoy this palette. Definitely keeping it. This is the re-release of the Berlin Underground palette. I have only used this a couple of times. I really did enjoy it though. I think I'm gonna save it. It's new in my collection. I think it's really interesting. We have the Nomad Fairy Tale Europe palette. Oh my god, am I keeping all the Nomad palettes, or I think I'm gonna get rid of some of them. So the Fairy Tale Europe, this is a really nice palette, but maybe not for me. It's shimmer heavy. I do like the shimmers a lot, but then there is a row of just neutrals. So this is perfect for someone who likes a neutral crease and just a fun shimmer on the lid. The quality is beautiful. It's not perfect for me though. So maybe I will get rid of that one. I really like the Whistler Snow Lodge. There's another one that's similar to this. Let's hold on that one. This is the Basque. This is the Cloud Forest, like Basque Nuboso de Monteverde. This is the Monteverde Cloud Forest. I really, really like this palette. I don't even know if they still make it, but I'm going to keep it because it's one of my favorites from the brand. Oh, this is the one that's like a little bit similar. Which one do I prefer? I mean, in a way, I do prefer the Whistler Snow Lodge over the Chamonix one because it's less gray. I think I'll get rid of the Chamonix one and I will save the Whistler Snow Lodge. This is the yeah, I accidentally lost this one. This is the Route 66. I didn't love this palette actually. This was not as good as I know Nomad can be, so I'm actually gonna get rid of that one. Where am I? I'm already like full here, and this big palette is of course taking up way too much space. Oh my gosh. This is the this is the Ireland Wild Atlantic Way. I really did enjoy this one too, but I like the greens from the Monteverde Forest more, so I'll get rid of that one too. The Royal Europe one is the one that has the multi-chromes and the jewel tones. This one is beautiful, but I don't reach for it because it doesn't have any light shades. And then we have the New Zealand Stargaze. This is a beautiful palette. I have not used this in a hot minute. You know what? I'm going to get rid of a lot of palettes. This one, I really love this one. This is the re-release of the Fête de Provence. This color story is so intriguing to me. There's something about this. I don't like these, but other than that, I like it. You know what, I'm gonna keep it. I also really like this one, the Hudson Valley. I don't know, again, I don't know if they still have it, but look at this like really fall color story. We have this is the Verona, the Romeo and Juliet palette. Let me get rid of that one. I'm trying to be, oh, this one I can't get rid of because this color story I thought was just like it's almost like a jumbled up rainbow palette, and I thought that these blues, I wish it was a little bit different. Ghost Town USA is a lot of people's favorite palette from Nomad. It's very gray and cool tone, so it's not necessarily my favorite palette from them, but this is probably my favorite color story from Nomad. I'm gonna be honest with you, I love this. This is the America's Parks palette. I love this. This is one of my favorite, if not my favorite color story from them. They did re-release this. I absolutely love it. We have the Chicago Speakeasy. Again, not my favorite from them. It's very gray leaning. I do love the pop of the low green though. That is beautiful. And then we have the neutral one that is Akawanga Safari. Same here. I think I'm gonna get rid of it. I feel like this one, it's almost like a little bit more of a muted version of this one, the one that I just showed you. Are they not like, it's like this one is just a more amped up version of that, right? So yeah, I'm gonna look at me. Oh my god, I feel so good. I feel so good. That's great. So I did decide to keep this new one, by the way. And then I have the other ones over here. Oh, I feel so accomplished. Okay, let me bring out the last basket that I have here right now, which is one that has, let me see. Oh, there's some Lunar Beauty, and then there is some Beauty Bay. There is some What's Up Beauty. Oh, okay, I don't even know if Ace Beauté is still a thing, but the Aura and the Envy palette, these are like, look at that, and then look at this one. Are you prepared? Because like, oh my gosh, these are so beautiful. Definitely staying. This is such beautiful packaging. It's actually incredible. This is the Geodes palette. I don't even think I've used this one, if I'm gonna be honest. Really beautiful. And then it is the Dragon palette. I want to keep these and play around with these a little bit more. I feel like What's Up Beauty is one of these brands that I'm like sleeping on. This is the Moonspell palette by Lunar Beauty. This is the original one. I think this is stunning. I'm keeping this for the memories of how I felt about this palette. I think it's really good. I'm gonna get rid of the volume 2. I really like the quality of this one. I thought it was great, but I have color stories like this that are newer in my collection. Oh, then the Siren Sunset. I thought this was a really fun vibe from Lunar Beauty. I'm gonna keep this one. I do have the Full Fantasy here. I don't reach for this neutral palette that much, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. The Eternal Eclipse used to be my favorite, like, dark neutral palette for a long time, but I think it's time to let this one go because I haven't reached for it in a hot minute. It could be because I would have like worked on my own neutrals, but I think it's time to let that one go. And then I have the Strawberry Dream palette as well. This has not gotten enough use. Again, I think I can give this to someone. I think I bought this and then I never used it more than like twice, which is a shame. Oh my god, look at me. I do have more palettes from Lunar Beauty as well. I'll try and, we'll get to those later because they're in my collection somewhere. I have 3 of the Beauty Bay palettes. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to put these somewhere. I have 3 of the Beauty Bay palettes. I have the Earthy, which is the green one. And then I have the Berries. And then I have the Midnight. Do I need to keep these? Do I need to keep these? I feel like the Earthy is the one that I like the most. I never reach for the berries. I'm gonna get rid of the berries and I'll save the other 2 because they did pull on my heartstrings a bit. This is the Classical Paradise by Ace Beauté. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. This is a color story that... Oh, I wish you could see my smile when I opened this one. This color story just speaks to me. So I'm gonna keep this one because honestly, I think this color story is amazing. It really is the perfect fall palette for me, and I'm gonna keep that one. I also have the Oceanic palette. I think it's time to get rid of that one. And I have the Tropical Vibes palette. Again, beautiful color story, but I have similar things like this in my collection in similar quality from other brands that are a little bit newer. But with that being said, I mean, this is truly spectacular. Like, it looks incredible. I do really like it. Oh my god, but I'm trying to get rid of stuff because again, don't need to be a hoarder. I say that with me putting these away and pulling out round 2 of this madness. Okay, more palettes. Let me see if we can pull some of these to the side. There we go. And I can get some of these palettes out and we can have a chat. Like I said, all of these are things that have been in my collection for a bit, so I will probably be decluttering more intensely from these than I will from the newer palettes. We have these are actually 3 palettes. I have the other palettes from Oden's Eye in a different box, but these are 3 palettes from Oden's Eye, and this is the palettes that they did with Nomad Beauty, Betty Bean, and Amanda for Makeup Just for Fun. So this is the Flora Story palette. It's an absolutely beautiful palette. She did such a good job with this one. I'm gonna keep this. And this is the Sea Talk palette by Lauren May. I really like this palette too. I had a lot of fun with this one, and I'm gonna keep this one too. Then we have the Planet Spirit palette. This is the most colorful of the palettes. But again, the looks that I've done with this palette, I've really enjoyed. So I'm gonna keep that one too. Then we have, here is the Dots palette. These are the pastel shimmers that they did. I still have not. I'm gonna put this in the I need to put some palettes to the side that like I really want to play with them, but I've been so preoccupied with just new, and I hate it as much as you do. So I really want to make 2026 a year where I get to dive back into my collection. And I really think that I'm going to have a lot of fun doing that. So I do want to keep this and hopefully we'll get a better chance. This is from Gerard Cosmetics. This is the I Love Coffee palette. This one is a neutral palette, but not my perfect neutral palette. Nothing wrong with the quality, but I am going to get rid of that one. Then we have a bunch of... Let me see where I can put these. A bunch of Fantasy Cosmetic. I do really love. I love Fantasy Cosmetica. I think they make amazing palettes. Oh, here's some more clarity. Oh, and here's even more dots. Again, I really want to play with these. So I'm going to keep these and we're going to make that a mission. Here is more fantasy. And here's another one from Gerard Cosmetics. This is a Forbidden Love palette. I think this is a really fun palette. I really like the color story of this one. Will I reach for this one over some of my other palettes? You know what? Maybe. Because I really like how these blues look together. You know what? I'm going to keep that. Just looking at it made me really inspired. Okay. So here are the Fantasy Cosmetica palettes that I have right now in my collection. I do have more. And they are going to be in the newer palette bunches. So we are going to be getting to those... they're here scattered. I also have a pile of palettes that I used for a video that was like, I think the palette tag or something that I filmed earlier this season. So I do have a pile of palettes there as well. I am probably not going to get rid of a lot of Fantasy Cosmetics because I really love this brand. This is the Cradled in Ice palette. Absolutely beautiful palette, definitely keeping. This is the Enchanted Autumn palette. This is a collab with my friend Amanda for Makeup Just for Fun. Definitely keeping it. Really pretty palette. I feel like this is the only one that I might get rid of because I actually don't love the quality of these. I don't think the colors go together. The mattes don't go together. I had a hard time creating a look where I could use more than 1 or even 2 mattes, and I also don't think the mattes were as great as they could be. So I might actually get rid of this one because I don't love it. The Bard one has really beautiful quality. The Fighter one has really beautiful quality. This is like a neutral palette that is leaning cool tone with a couple of warm tones. The Rogue palette, I also really did enjoy this one. The Sorcerer palette, this is again unfortunately one of those that doesn't have as good quality mattes as the others. I might get rid of that one too. The Wizard palette I really did enjoy. If you watch my channel a lot, you know I reach into this palette for the light shades quite a lot. And then we have the original palette, the Druid palette. This is a really beautiful palette, but this is not my favorite palette, and I think that they have done better palettes than that since. So again, this is just the quality things. I'm gonna get rid of these and I'm saving the rest because again, I am trying to get rid of stuff in my collection. Let's see what we have in this little pile here. We have some DD Signature, and then we have some Gourmande Girls. Is it more Gourmande Girls here? I have some melt as well. Okay, so I have a couple of melt palettes here that are more for the nostalgia. This is the Beetlejuice. This is the Waiting Room palette. Again, I am keeping this for the nostalgia because I got a hold of them and it's like makeup history at this point, and this is the Recently Deceased palette. These aren't necessarily great quality, but the theming was done really well, so I'm keeping it for that reason. And then we have the Fatally Yours with Bailey Sarian. I actually did not think that this palette was amazing quality. I have worked with it a bit. I actually don't... I think it is too dark to suit me. And I love an all matte palette, but this is not an all matte palette that I can do a full look with, just how I like to do my makeup. And I also don't think that Melt has my favorite formula. Then I of course have the Vida and de Muerte palette. I still have these in my collection, not using them because they're old. But they're a piece of makeup history at this point, and I'm not gonna get rid of them because I mean, they're beautiful. I had some Simply Posh here. I have... This is a Glaminatrix mini palette. This one was really good quality, but these small palettes, I only travel with them, and these are very fragile. I've had 2 of these actually break on me, so I'm actually gonna get rid of this one only because it's so fragile. Oh, here's another Gourmande Girls. This is the Light Scatters multichrome palette that Cleona did together with Millie from Bad to the Brow. I'm gonna keep this one. It's a new palette in my collection. I do want to play around with this one a little bit more, even though you know I've said this before, but I'm not the person who goes for like all shimmer palettes that much. Let's start with Gourmande Girls. I have this Spooked palette here. This is a really fun palette. It's really beautiful. Should we see? I think this Peach... Let's start with the ones I know I'm keeping. Peach Perfect, one of my favorite palettes from the brand. I think it's absolutely stunning. Love it. We're definitely keeping. This is the Nueva Vida palette that they did together with Steph's Beauty Stash. This is one of the most unique color stories in my collection. And I gotta say, just opening this and looking at this makes me, a color lover, extremely inspired. So I'm gonna keep that one as well. We have the Nightshade palette. I love this color story too. It's such a pretty palette. We're gonna keep that one too. We have the Haunted, the Silent Night, the Calavera palette, and these are the Signature. The Calavera palette, I think this palette is good, but the shimmers, the special shimmers in here do crease on me, and I also think that some of these mattes lean a little bit more on the muted gray scale side, and I like some of the other color stories that they've done better, so I'm actually going to get rid of that one. Then, like I said, we have the Spooked palette, we have the Haunted palette. I think I prefer the Haunted palette over the Spooked palette, so this one. So I think I'm going to keep the Haunted palette, and I'm actually going to get rid of the Spooked palette, only because I can't keep all of them. Oh, and then I have the Silent... I do have more Gourmande Girls as well in my newer palettes. We'll bring that out soon. This was a holiday palette that I did, I think, 2 years ago. I think this was really pretty, but I think I'm going to keep the other holiday palette instead, because that one I really, really love. So we have some DD Signature here, and here we have some of the palettes that she did before she, like, redid packaging and stuff. We had the Blooming Basket. I actually really enjoyed this color story, but I think I'm gonna get rid of most of these palettes that is before the rebrand, because I think that she does way better things now. This one is really pretty though. And the Sweet Aesthetics, and then the Jingle Bell Ruby. This one is stunning though. Is this one untouched? Oh, this one is definitely going in like a giveaway then. Is this also untouched? Oh my god, I have 2 untouched palettes by her here. Definitely putting those in the giveaway pile, because I was like, I don't even remember using that one. These one I know I've used. And if you have watched my channel this year, you know that DD Signature has quickly become one of my favorite indie brands. And it is because of the mini rebrand that she has done. She has gone through some amazing things and just taken her brand from good to amazing. So we're going to be talking about some of those palettes in a bit, and I'll get rid of some of the ones that that are before she did the little rebrand. These I'm actually going to put I'll put them here, but I'm going to put them in a giveaway later on, because I mean clearly I'm keeping those. Okay, where can I I'm trying to put these away. Then we have some Simply Posh palettes here. Again, I do have even more palettes from Simply Posh. Oh, this is the Sydney Grace and the Fancy Face. I really like keeping palettes from my friends, so I am going to be keeping this one as well. I think she did such a good job with the color story. Again, I do have even more palettes from Simply Posh, but they're going to be in a little bit. So we have the Coastal palette. Which one? Yeah, am I wearing a Star Wars t-shirt? Can you tell? Which ones am I saving? I really did enjoy the Coastal palette. I love the Aurora Lights. This one I know I'm saving. This is such a good palette. I know I'm saving that one. Snow Angel is a little bit more of a muted color story. I might actually get rid of this one. This one I have never used, but I think this was the original palette, but look at how beautiful that is. I want to keep that one. The Cozy Cabin was her holiday palette. This is fine. And then the Coastal, you know what, I think I'm gonna get rid of these two, the Snow Angel one and the Cozy Cabin one. I think I'm gonna get rid of those, and I'll save these palettes. Am I doing a good job? I don't know about that, babe. Maybe I can fit some of these in here too. There we go. Okay, and then we have a big oh, there is a lot of Ensley Rain here. If you didn't know, oh my god, am I even in focus? If you didn't know, Ensley Rain got themselves into some hot water end of last year, and I haven't been reviewing them this entire year. So this will be the first time I talk about them in a really long time, because again, I did avoid talking about them because they got themselves into some controversy, and I did not agree with some of the choices that they made. And if you know this about me, maybe you don't, but I'll let you know now. I never cancel brands forever. I always just take a step back and see how things evolve, and if brands change, because I always believe that people can be better, and I refuse to believe that there are truly that many evil people out there. And I think that sometimes it's just a misunderstanding. I have not been keeping up with how things have been going with Ensley Rain. I'm gonna be honest. I've had a busy year, so I probably will not get rid of everything from the brand, because I do think they make good quality products, but I will get rid of quite a few things, and then I will keep my ears and eyes open, and I will see how things progress, basically. So two of my favorite palettes from the brand is the Flutter and Flourish. So these two palettes I will be keeping. Like I said, if things are changing with the brand, I do want to have some of my favorite things here, even though I'm not necessarily talking about them right now. These mini palettes that they had, I think I might get rid of these. I do think they are pretty. I think that one of these, yeah, this one I never got around to use, because that thing happened just before this one got announced, and I never got around to using it. So I might, again, put that one to the side and give that one away. But I think I'm going to get rid of those two as well. Then we have the two palettes that happened just as they got into their controversy. This is the Wolf Moon and the Snow Moon. So I am going to get rid of those two. And then we have the Underland palette. I did really enjoy the quality of this one. The Flower Moon. This one has really nice shades. The Strawberry Moon. I did enjoy that palette. The Harvest Moon, the Neutral palette. I didn't love all the shades in this one. The Cold Moon, I know this is a lot of people's favorite, but maybe not mine, because I don't do a lot of shades like that. This one was nice because it had more mattes in it. We have the Twisted Tea Party. We have the Land of Enchantments, which is a little bit big, but it is a nice palette. This one wasn't my favorite, the Cosmic Dreamer. So I might, let me see if I can save just a few of these. So I might do Harvest Moon, and I might do, was it Flower Moon, or was it this one? I might do that one as well. Should I do this one with the greens? Okay, I'll do these three palettes, and I'll get rid of the rest. Again, not trying to stir up any drama or anything. It's just, again, I can't keep everything anyways, so I might as well get rid of some. Here we go. Here we have things that are more, nostalgia than anything. And this is for BH Cosmetics. This was best palette of the year 1 year here on my channel. I think it was 2020. Every year I do a ranking where I rank all the palettes that I've tried throughout the year from worst to best. I will definitely have that on my channel this year as well. And 1 year, the BH Cosmetics Blueberry Muffin won, keeping this out of nostalgia. The year after, the Passion in Paris one, keeping this out of nostalgia. I have one of the Juvia's Place palettes here. This is old. I have not used this in a bit. I might get rid of this one. I also have 2 of these palettes that I really, really love from BH Cosmetics. It reminds me of how they were when they were great. I'm gonna keep these. They make me happy. And then we have these Sweet Shop palettes. Do you remember when these were like the chisel? Everybody was going on and on about how good these were. Do you remember? Because I remember. This was a fun time to be alive. I'm gonna keep these palettes because they remind me, oh my gosh, am I even remotely in focus? These palettes remind me of a time where I truly loved the beauty community. It was good to me and I was good to them and I had a blast. And I want to keep that to remind myself of that feeling. Okay, here we have ColourPop and also one of my hairs. That is apparently included. Can you leave, sir? There is gonna be not that many ColourPop actually. They have not released as much this year as I mean, we all remember ColourPop in like 2020, 2021. They were like bonkers. This year, not as bad. We have the Precious Metals. I haven't reached for this one. I think it's safe to get rid of that one. Then, of course, the Star Wars, the Darth Vader one, clearly saving. I mean, I was wearing a Star Wars t-shirt. We all know where this was going, okay? No surprises. This is the Mandalorian one, clearly saving. I also feel like I have a... Should there not be... Oh, here we are. I'm like, should there not be a C-3PO? I actually really like this palette. I think that the quality of this one is really nice as well. Definitely saving that. I do love the Blue Velvet. I actually do reach for this every now and then. I love a blue eyeshadow. Wine and Only and Or Kid You're Not are 2 of the best quality palettes that ColourPop has in their collection. If you like these kind of tones, definitely don't sleep on these. They're really good. Here's a palette that ColourPop, for some reason, they released it and then they discontinued it with the swiftness, and this is Into the Limelight, but this is one of the better color stories that they've ever made. It's such a good palette. Definitely keeping. I don't even care if it's discontinued. This one, I still travel with this one. I shouldn't. How old is this? This is me like reconsidering all my life choices. This is probably like 7 or 8 years old and I literally wore this year. Okay, let me get rid of that one. Honestly, some of these are old. I should not be using them. This is the Rock On. It's a really nice neutral palette, but I will say I do reach for other neutral palettes over that one. The So Elemental palette. It's a little bit gray toned. It's nice, but I'm gonna get rid of it. Troublemaker is a really, really good quality and color story, but not perfect for me. But my friend who loves cool tones, she will love that. This was also one of the best palettes that ColourPop ever released. I feel like a lot of people slept on this one. This is In the Springs by ColourPop. Freaking loved this color story. Still love this one. I'm gonna keep it. It's so good. I feel like this, me right now with my ColourPop collection, I'm just keeping the color stories that I really think they did good. Frosty the Snowman. This was nice, but I don't reach for this one over the blue palettes. I'm gonna get rid of it. I actually really like this color story. This is Muppets Holiday, Holiday, Holiday. I think they did a great job with this palette. I actually think it's so cool. I love these shades here. You know what? I'm gonna keep it. It makes me happy. Stranger Things. It's fine, but not my favorite color story. After Hours. This, good quality, not my favorite color story. Then we have Legends of Korra and Avatar The Last Airbender. I've kept the packaging of these because honestly, again, this is probably the best packaging the ColourPop has ever made. I loved this quality. I loved this palette and I'm gonna keep it. It is beautiful and I really think they did a great job with quality. I think this is one of the better palettes the ColourPop has ever released, and I think it got a lot of hate for no reason because it really is a great color story that goes together. Legends of Korra is kind of a similar color story with the different elements. It's just a little bit more, oh my gosh, hello, focus, sir, come back. It's just a little bit more poppy. The 2 palettes go together really well. This is just a little brighter. And again, quite honestly, great quality. I really enjoy it. I have the original Twilight palette here that they made. This is good quality, not my favorite color story. The Pokemon palette, what is this? Oh, this is how I do when I do my rankings. Can you tell? I do little post-its on it. Let's get rid of that one. This is a rainbow palette. It's fine, but I have other rainbow palettes that I like more. We have the Gather Round Sisters, the original Hocus Pocus palette. I also think that this color story and this quality is really good. I'm gonna keep this one. Lust to Dusk used to be one of my look at this packaging. Is this not one of the best packagings that they have ever made? This palette used to be one of my favorite neutral palettes because I thought it was so interesting, and I still think it is a great neutral palette, but I haven't used it in a bit. Well, actually I did use it this year, but I am gonna get rid of that one. This is Welcome Foolish Mortals. It's the Haunted Mansion collab. Why am I so out of focus? Change the settings a little bit. I hope that's gonna be better because I was annoyed and I bet you were as well. I did enjoy the color story of this one and the quality, but it's not something I reach for a lot, so I'm gonna get rid of it. Can you guess what I'm gonna do with this one? Look at the inside of this one. Ugh. Such a big fan, so definitely saving this one. I actually, Colourpop knows that I'm a Star Wars fan, and I actually got a message from Colourpop when this one was being released saying, we sent you something special. They know I'm a fan. they know I love that. This is the Aurora Struck. I really like this one. I think this is the nicest big palette that they released. I'm gonna keep this one, and this is also really good quality. This is the Smoking Hot. This is also a great big palette from them, so I'm gonna keep those as well. I think I did a good job. I mean, I can't keep everything, but I did keep some of it. But I feel good. I feel good about this. Let me put some of these back, and then I can. Oh my god, why is there hairs everywhere? I don't know if I want to know. Let me put some of these back and let me get out some of the other ones because I don't even think we're halfway through. Okay, it is time for another round of palettes. Ooh, let's start with this one. Oh, this is all the Lethal palettes. And like I said, I'm trying to keep their like newer palettes and get rid of some of their older palettes. Because I do think that Lethal has amazing palettes, but I also have some stuff from them that is incredibly old. This is one of their newer palettes. This is the collab they did with Dexter. I don't personally get the reference of the packaging because I haven't seen the series, but I really did enjoy the shades, so I'm gonna keep that one. I also have, this is the, I think it's called, oh my god, I wish there was a name on this one, but there isn't. I think it's called the Night Moth palette. I did really enjoy this one. I'm gonna keep this one too. And then I think, what was this one called? I don't even remember. I don't love this color story as much. I think I might get rid of that one actually. And then we have this one. What are these called? Spellcraft. I really like the packaging of this one and how it's like almost like Yggdrasil on the front. And then you open it up. This is such beautiful colors. I loved what I created with this palette. Definitely keeping that one. Then we have, I think what is Night Flower and like something is a Dave. Oh my gosh, I love this quality. I think this is the old Lethal though, but this one is great. It's one of my favorite things from them. I love it. And this one, I don't love this color story as much, so I think I might get rid of that one. Oh, this one, so good. Love it. Then we have these. Okay, again, I don't think that these are the new, because they did some like also like a reformulation rebrand. I don't think that this was part of that, but dang, I love these two. This is two of my most underestimated palettes in my collection. Love the color stories, love the looks that I've done. Definitely keeping those two. I think they're actually like stunning, 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 stunning. This is, I don't even know, this is a surprise. Oh, these are some of their multi-chromes. I thought these were good, but not perfect. I might get rid of those because I think they're redoing some of them. Oh, here I have the Teresa is Dead collabs that they did. This is this the second one or the first one? I think this might be the first one, right? They're a little bit more muted and grayscale because that's what Teresa likes. I think I like the second one more than I like the first one, but I honestly think both of them are really nice quality. I'm definitely keeping them. They also had two like more gaming inspired palettes. I don't know what these are. These are, oh, some of their singles. These are a little messy. I did like the quality of these though. These were really nice. What are these? Oh, these were the cake liners. I actually have used these quite a bit. I'm actually going to use those. Save those. These were nice, but I think, again, I think they're redoing their singles. I'm going to get rid of those. This was the 2-Up. So the 1-Up is actually my favorite. I really, really like this color story. I thought it was like really, really fun. And then they did the 2-Up. And I don't like this one as much as I like the first one. So I'm going to get rid of the second one. And I'm going to save the first one because, again, I really enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun with it. So I got rid of some of it. That was actually good for me. Let me get that one to the side. And here's another one of those big ones. Let's see what I have here. There seems to be a little bit of a mixture. Seems to be a lot of Unearthly, and there's also two Too Faced palettes. This is the Italian Spritz palette. I really enjoyed this palette. I thought it was a great palette. And then we have the Apple palette that they had as well. Honestly, I think both of these were really nice. I thought they were fun, like mainstream palettes. Do I want to keep them? I liked both of these. Have I used them? Have I reached for them? You know what? I'll save the Italian Spritz because I had fond memories of that one and I really, really did enjoy it. Let me see. Is there only Unearthly here except the big one? The original Ellis palette with Blend Money. This, oh my gosh. I don't reach for palettes that are this big. I get the appeal. I really do. But these don't feel as inspiring to me. There's nothing wrong with the quality. These don't feel that inspiring to me. It's just not my favorite. It's just not how I want to do my makeup. And with that being said, I mean, I love Blend Bunny. Let me put this to the side. I love Blend Bunny, but god dang, these are so large. This is the Leather and Lace. This is nice. Not the best color story that they have made. This is the Dead of Night. I do love this color story a lot. Let me see. Let me think. Oh, I love this one. This is the Lore palette. This is such a nice one. I really like this one. This is one of those that started it all for me. This is how I fell in love with this brand, and I'm still in love with them. Here we have Night Terror. This one is nice too. I really like that one. What else do I have that's a little smaller? Those were the ones that were a little smaller. The Charmer one is not my favorite color story. So I might get rid of this one because it's not my favorite color story from them. We have the Spring Magic. We have the Devour. I do really like the Devour. We have the Don't Be Jelly. This one is a really fun color story. I really, really enjoyed this one. We're definitely keeping that one. The Dreamer one. It's a little bit more of a cool tone one with pinks and grays. Is that my favorite from them? I do love Sorcerer's Smoke. Sorcerer's Smoke, definitely. This is like almost like a light, grungy, greeny neutral palette. I really like this one. We're definitely keeping that one. Same with Fall Magic. This is like a little bit more of a brighter, grungy, like fall time palette. I love that one. Then we have Gargoyle. I have more palettes as well. So I think I prefer Gargoyle over Spring Magic if I like compare them to each other. So I think I might get rid of Spring, because again, I need to get rid of some. So I'm gonna save Gargoyle. I'm gonna save Devour. Dreamer isn't my favorite because it is a little bit more on the leaning a little gray tone. I might get rid of that one too. And then I'll save Night Terror. I will save the Lore palette. Is this one still available? Dead of Night. I really do like this one though. Like, oh, sorry. Look at that. Look at how inspiring that is. You know what? I'll keep that one too because I love it. I want to use it again. Okay, good for me. Then what we have in this other one, let me see what we can bring out. Oh, it seems to be a little bit more a mixed bag. Some mainstream palettes. And, oh yeah, definitely some mainstream palettes. And a couple of like neutral palettes, or not neutral palettes, indie palettes as well. This one is my Pat McGrath, my only, no, that's not true. I have a second one. But it's going to be in one of the new piles. But this is a Mothership palette. This is, I think this is like, what is this one even called? I don't even know. Wait, it's here. Mothership 3 Subversive. I got this as a friend from, I got this as a gift from my friend Karen Harris. I will never get rid of this one. I got this as a gift and I will forever cherish this gift. I absolutely adore my gift. So definitely keeping that one. Let me see if I can get this one tied up again. There we go. Definitely keeping that one. I had two of the Makeup by Mario palettes. I have the Cool Tone Neutral one. This is great quality, but this isn't a color so that I reach for a lot. But I will say the quality is great. And then I have this one, also cool. Why do I have all these Cool Tone palettes? You know what? I'll keep this one. Or should I keep this one? No, because if I'm going to use something like this, I will just reach for my Natasha Denona one. So I'll keep this one. The other one from Makeup by Mario. Oh, here's another one of those Huda Beauty ones. You know what? I'll get rid of that one too. I have the Molten Metals by Gloss Gods. Again, this is great quality, but this is not a neutral palette I reach for. And then I have two Huda Beauty palettes. I have the Pretty Grunge palette and I have the Icy Nudes one. Both of these I think are pretty similar to each other. They're both like cool tone neutrals. So if I'm gonna keep some cool tone neutrals, maybe I can keep these just to have some mainstream palettes. I also really love the Groundwork Blooming Romance from Danessa Myricks. I used that not too long ago, so I'm gonna keep that. And then this NARS palette. This one is nice, but it's not my favorite type of formula. You know what? I might get rid of that one. And then I have, oh, I actually really love this one. This is the Nouveau palette. Is it called just Nouveau? Yes, Nouveau by ABH. I really like this palette. I will keep that one. I have this is the ABH and Jackie Aina palette. I have not used this in a hot minute. And I don't myself feel super inspired opening it. So I might actually pass that one along. Because again, I do have a lot of palettes in that kind of color story. Modern Renaissance. This also has a hair. What is up with all of these hairs? This is a very much an oldie palette. Do I need to keep this? I know I bought this for a video and I did enjoy it when I used it, but when I open it, I don't feel inspired at all. You know what? Let me not save stuff for saving stuff. I actually don't hate the quality of this one at all, and had this had better packaging, I might have saved it. But for me, makeup, for me to feel inspired, it needs to be a full-in-one package. And if I want something like this, I have something like this in equal or better quality and better packaging, so I don't need to keep that one too. But if you are balling on a budget and you're at the drugstore, these palettes from Makeup Revolution that looks like this, the Icon palettes, they're pretty nice. Same as this one from Profusion. This is the Turtles palette. Not bad at all, but not my absolute favorite either, and the shimmers do crease a little bit on me. And I also will say, not all shades in this palette are created equal. Some of them are extremely weak, and then some of them are extremely good. So I think I will be getting rid of that one. This one, I'm wondering if I'm saving for the nostalgia. Again, Bridgerton, Pat McGrath. If you saw my highlighter declutter video, you saw that I did save the highlighter. And I think I might save this one too. Actually, when I opened this, I'm like, I wouldn't mind wearing these shades. That actually looks really nice. I could, you know what? I can see myself wearing it. If you don't own a lot of Pat McGrath, owning a pinky nude palette isn't the end of the world. It's when you start like owning a lot of Pat McGrath and you realize all of them are, oh my god, where am I? All of them are pinky nude. So I think I'm gonna keep that one. Okay, it is time for the rest of Oden's Eye. And there are a couple of palettes here that are not with us, and it is because they are my palettes with Oden's Eye, and they're gonna come in at the end instead. So I have the Red Dragon palette that they did with Judy. I do tend to save these collab palettes because, again, it's also a peek into like what was going on at the time. This is the Hummingbird that they did with Tina, and then we have the Giant Wolves that they did with Oh, Annette. This is a really nice color story. I really did enjoy that when it came out. Here's the round 2 that they did with those exact same girls. So this is Judy's second palette with pastels. I love Oden's Eye pastels, so this actually makes me really, really happy. And then the second one with Tina. This color story, I like the shades individually, but for me, this was a color story that was a little challenging to work with. And I feel the same with this one with Annette. I like the shades individually, but together, I thought this color story was a little bit more of a challenging color story to get something together with. Then we have the Norns palette, and this is the redone version of the Norns palette where they did up the quality a bit. These shimmers down here are so incredible. I actually really like the color story in this palette. I think it's a really nice palette, so I'm gonna save that one. We have some of the holiday palettes here. I think I have all of them. Yeah, I think I have all of them. This Stone and Rock is probably my favorite palette from Oden's Eye, except the ones that I've done myself, of course. I think this palette is an awesome palette. I'm definitely saving it. I also love the Jewels and Gem palette. I think this, again, great quality. This is perfect if you are a color lover and want to have something more muted, or if you are a neutral lover and want to have something more colorful. I feel like that this is the bridge in between. I also really love, oh, here is actually one of my palettes, Solmåne 2. I really love this one as well. I love this color story. I wonder where the other one is. Well, this is Solmåne 2, the Moon Wish palette. I have the other Solmåne palette here as well somewhere. So this is the first palette that I did with Oden's Eye. This is the Hella palette. This is what it looks like. And then I think, yeah, this is the one that I have been digging into a lot. This is the color story I did. I did have a restock with Oden's Eye with this, but I don't think it's still available as you're seeing this. I'm very sorry. You're gonna have to go in and see, but I do think that this one is gone forever now. Sorry about that. But I did, of course, really love that palette. Then we have the big palette that came out, the Eternal Twilight palette. I mean, the packaging of this, not even 10 out of 10, it's like 100 out of 10. Like, it's such good packaging. The inside, not my favorite, unfortunately. I think they've done way better than this, and I don't know why they decided to do it like this. There's a couple of really, really great shades in here, but overall, not my absolute favorite that they've ever done. They did a new big palette this year that I actually like more than this one, but it has a couple of really great shades in here. I just don't think that this was the best idea they've ever had. So I might get rid of this one, even though the packaging is so good. I wish I could get this. Honestly, can we get this as a print? I would not mind putting this in a frame because I think it's stunning, absolutely beautiful. Okay, so then we have the Christmas palettes. These are all the different Christmas palettes that Oden's Eye have come out with. These here, of course, being the original one. This is the Merry Christmas palette that everybody went absolutely bananas with. They have restocked this palette twice, and people are still asking for them to bring it back. Maybe one day they will. I have no idea. I'm gonna keep it though. I really like it. This one also came out at the same time. This is the Christmas Eve palette. More of the cool tone color story. I think it's beautiful. This is the kind of cool tones that I can go for because it has a little bit more color to it, and it has a little bit of a pop of warm tones as well. I don't remember in which order these came out, but this is the Silvery Bliss palette. It's more of a red palette with a couple of pinks and some like cool tones. I'm gonna keep this because, again, I do love the Christmas palettes. This is the Hey Reindeer palette. I think this is probably the most used palette for me. I've dipped into this one so many times for a pastel, for a matte, for a shimmer. I think there are some really, really good colors in here. Same with the Snow Dream palette. I have dipped in so many times for this shade here. I think it's such a good shade. I really, really love it. And then the Rosy Jingle. I think this one came out, was that last year? I'm sorry, but I love this. This is so cute. It's like, I know it's not like a Christmas theme, but dang, this color story is beautiful. I freaking adore it. I wish there was another dark shade in here, but again, I have used this palette together with a dark matte, and I was obsessed. Rosy Jingle, freaking love it. If they had made this a fluffy bunny palette and released it for Easter, I think it wouldn't have gotten so much critique because, quite honestly, this is such a fun and bright color story. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. I have more, okay? let's see if we can go through some of these, because yeah, there is definitely more. Let's pull out some of my Bella Beauté bar. These are not going to be all of my Bella Beauté bar. Oh, there's also some Sigma here, because like I said, I do have some other piles with more newer palettes and palettes that have been featured in videos as of late, and those I'm gonna take at the end. This is the influenced palette from them. Ooh, which ones am I keeping? I really love the color story of this one, and this one actually has a shimmer formula that doesn't crease on me as much as some of their newer ones do, so I'm gonna keep this one. And I feel the same about the Basic Witch. Same here, love the color story, and this one has a shimmer formula that doesn't crease on me as much as some of their newer ones. Okay, let me see. Let me take the Sigma ones at the end. This is the Realm of Fairies. This is the one they did with Sassy Fairy. This one is a little bit more of a grayscale. I love blue eyeshadows. I really, really do. This one has a little bit of a, almost like a gray filter on it, which isn't my absolute favorite. And I will say, some of these do swatch kind of similarly. And they also do crease on me. So this is definitely the more emollient and flaky formula. If you don't have any problems with that creasing, you probably will not have any problems with these either. But on me, these do crease, and I also know that some of these swatch out pretty similarly. I do love Bella Beauté bar, but this is not my absolute favorite palette from them. So I think I'm gonna get rid of that one, and I might also get rid of the Dead Roses palette, because again, I do love color stories like this, but I think this one can go, because I like it, but I don't love it. The Strange and Unusual, this is the one they did before they reformulated this one. I have the old one. I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. This one has good mattes, but not perfect. I think they might have changed formula or might have changed labs in between. So I am gonna get rid of this one, because this is the old one and they have a newly formulated one if I want to get that on the website. So I'm going to get rid of that one. Then we have the Vamp palette. This one isn't my favorite color story from them. I don't do a lot of grays, even though I love red and purple together. So I think I might get rid of the Vamp palette too. The Poison Garden though, this is one of the most inspirational palettes in my collection. This is like, I don't know, this one has grays, but it feels grungier and earthier, and this is my kind of neutrals, and I love this palette. And there is one shade in here, this one, that did really crease on me when I used it, the one that's called Angel's Trumpet, but I can work with that. Overall, I love this one. I love the way that the shimmers go together with the neutrals, and there's just something about this. This is as far gray as I would like to go, but gosh, I really love that palette. Then we have the Melted Mattes. This one is the one that I changed up. I put in some, this one came together, oh, here it is. This one came together with this palette here, and you can see I took out some of the mattes and put them in this one instead. So I might keep this one as if, and just I took some of them out and put in the shimmers that came separately. I really like this one. I think this palette that I did, where I put the shimmers into the matte and took some of the mattes out, I think it's incredible. So it says Melted Mattes, but I did that one myself. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna get rid of the mini palette though. Then we have the Bejeweled palette. This one is a beautiful color story and it has beautiful quality, but this one has only mid and dark shades, and I like more contrast in my palettes, but I love Bella Beauté bar's formula, so I'm sure I have someone that will take this off my hands and will really, really love it. Oh, here is the Pastel Garden. This really has all the pastels you need. I know that this one comes in an updated formula. I don't know formula, maybe just an updated packaging with a different packaging. I have the old one, but I really like this. And again, this one has all the pastels that I can need, and I really like the shimmers in here too. I'm gonna keep this. It's one of the bigger palettes that I really love. Oh, here's the Smoky Glam. I actually have the new release of this one. It's new packaging, same formula. They changed some of the shades to a different formula, and they took away some formulas and, like, you know, edit yourself. You got this palette to be a little slimmer, which I do prefer the new one over the old one, so I'm gonna get rid of the old one, and I am keeping, of course, the new one. Here is the Ultraviolet with Deandra Nicole. I love speaking to Deandra Nicole on Instagram. She is always so, like, just spunky and fun and positive behind the scenes, and we have had some of the greatest discussions behind the scene, and this is her palette. If you love purples, look at this. It's got all these beautiful purples, and it's got some really great contrast in here. And I also really like that even though they're all purples, they're all different shades. So I think she did such a great job with that one. Definitely keeping it. Secret Garden, one of my favorite palettes from the brand. This color story is truly beautiful, and I do think that this palette could have been a little bit smaller. It might also be that there's too much space in between the shadows if you could just make the packaging smaller. But yeah, I've had so much fun with this palette. I've done some really incredible looks that I've really loved with this palette. There's a few shimmers in here that do crease on me. Like this one here creases on me. This one did crease on me. I think this one creased too. They're a little bit more flaky and emollient, but dang, this is such a beautiful palette. I absolutely love it. Then we have some Sigma palettes here. We have the Cool Neutrals palette. I actually really enjoy this palette, and I really enjoyed the looks that I've done with it. We have the Alice in Wonderland, their more colorful palette, and the Cinderella one. This one, I don't know if I need that one. And then the Beauty and the Beast is a little bit more of a neutral one as well. I might save these. Oh, and of course the Angela Bright palette. This is such a good color story. She did such a great job. The quality is beautiful on this one. So I think I'm gonna save these to 3, and I'm gonna get rid of the Beauty and the Beast and the Cinderella one. I did also have the Little Mermaid palette, but that actually got to me at a time when I was traveling a lot, so I never got to it. So I actually gave that one away. It is in one of the giveaway boxes. If you have not watched a couple of new makeup releases ago, I had I think in 2 new makeup releases, I'm having giveaways where I'm having 14 winners, and you will win a mystery box filled with makeup, skincare, and tools, and it will be sent to you, just box filled with makeup, and one of them has the full Sigma and the Little Mermaid collection. The full collection is in one of those boxes together with a bunch of other things. I just had so many extra things, so don't forget to check back on those in case you want to win some makeup from me that is totally unused. Just extra PR. I've not swatched it, I have not used it, nothing like that. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, dang, I wish I can get a hold of some of that makeup, definitely check back on those giveaways. When this video is going live, those giveaways are most certainly still open. Okay, I think I have some Glam Light in this box right here. So that could be really fun. Oh, there's 2 more Adept palettes here as well. I wonder why these were not with the other Adept palettes. I need to change that. So let's start with the 2 Adept palettes. I have the Minka, and I have the Emo. I remember when I reviewed these palettes, I said, I know they're not the same palette, but can we be honest with each other and say that these are very similar color stories? They're just like copy my homework, but don't make it too obvious. They're the same idea of a color story, even though they're not dupes in any way, shape, or form. I don't even know which one I prefer. I think I prefer this one, the one that is the Minka palette, or do I prefer the Emo one? I don't even know. I think they're so similar. I think they're so similar. I do prefer the mattes in this one. Yeah. So which one was this one? This is the Emo one. So I guess I don't prefer this one as much. I might get rid of this one then and then just save the this one, the Minka one. I like the quality, and I think again, when it comes to Adept Cosmetics, some of their shimmers do tend to crease on me. It is what it is. I gotta work with it. I kind of just have to be like, whatever palette has the most interesting mattes, that's the one I'm keeping. Like, that's the one I'm going for. So we have the Fresh Prince in Bel-Air. This is the one from Glamlight. Nothing wrong with the quality. This isn't my favorite color story from them. This one I love though. This is the Garfield palette. Look at this packaging. It's so good. And like, look at this. I really like this one. This is a really great palette. We're gonna save this one. This is the, I think, original Chucky palette. I'm gonna save this one too because this is the one that started it all. I really liked their Barbie palette. But now that I open it, do I need this one? You know what? I think I'm good. Oh, here's another Glaminatrix one's Pretty in Pastels. I think I can get rid of this one. I like it, but it's not my favorite from them, and I feel like I have some other pastel palettes that I can reach for. Rick and Morty is probably my favorite palette from them. This is very inspiring, very fun, very pretty. Goes from really goes from really light to really dark. And I love the shimmers in this one. And overall, I just think the quality is great. They did a great job with that one. We're definitely keeping that one. And then I have the two Scooby-Doo palettes. I actually really like the palettes that they did, the Scooby-Doo palettes. I think they're, like, honestly, like, really, really great. I really like those. We're keeping those as well. I've kept this one for a really long time because I like the color story. But you know what this one reminds me of? It reminds me of that In the Springs palette by Colourpop that I showed you, which has also great quality and goes a little bit lighter as well. So I might get rid of this one. Friday the 13th. Not my favorite color story from them. This one though, this is an unsung hero from Glamlight, the Betty Boop palette. This has such great quality. It's actually like shocking how great the quality is in that one. So let's keep that one. And then we have the Willy Wonka palette. I really like this palette actually. You know what? I'm going to keep that. I really enjoy that one. Also, a little bit of an unsung hero from the brand. Let me see. Am I building a pile over here that's just I'm going to regret in a bit? Let me put those to the side and let's take out my Cosmic Beauty palettes. Oh, and a couple of palettes from Game Beauty as well that I really, really enjoy too. These are not all of my Cosmic Beauty. They have a couple of new palettes that are not here as well. These are some of my palettes from Game Beauty. They have their like monochromatic. Oh, I love this one. This is one of the best monochromatic green palettes ever. Like this color story, the undertones, it is just so good. This is called the Elemental Blast Dendro by Game Beauty. I think I will leave in the description box. I'm gonna leave like links to some of these brands. If you are shopping from indie brands, you can always use my code Angelica. It's always down in the description box, and you can like save some money on a bunch of these brands like Cosmic Beauty, Glamlight, Sigma, like a bunch of these indie brands. Basically all of these indie brands, Nomad Cosmetics, Bella Beauté Bar. You can save 10% by using code Angelica. We'll leave it down below. This one of the best monochromatic green palettes in the game. This is the blue one. Good, but not as good. I think I'm gonna get rid of that one. The purple one is really good too. I'm gonna save that one too. And then we have the golden one, the neutral. You know what? Maybe I'll get rid of that one. And I don't remember how the red one looked. Oh yeah, the red one had an orange and a pink. You know what? I'll save that one too. And then we have the Metaverse one. This was the one with the, what was this one called? Persona 5 Royal. This has a really nice color story. You know what? I'll save that one too. Game Beauty, I feel, doesn't get enough hype. They're such a nice brand. I really love them. So let me see if I can get some of these palettes from Cosmic Beauty out. Oh my god, how am I doing this? Because I have basically everything that they have come out with. Well, not even basically. I have everything that they have come out with, including some of the new ones that you're going to see in a little bit. This was the holiday palette from last year. This is the season. Look at that. Look at these greens. Look at that and tell me that, oh my god. It just makes me so happy. Love this brand. Love this brand. This is the Muse palette. Really pretty. This one is a little bit more of a grayscale palette. I know this is a bunch of people's favorite palette. This is not my favorite palette from the brand, but I'm still going to keep it around. This is the Sinister palette. This one they released for Halloween last year. This one has a clear in here. It says Ghost, but you can see there's my thumbprint in there. It's just a clear gloss. Honestly, it's such a cool, to name a shade Ghost and make it a clear balm, genius. This is not my favorite from them. They have released another purple and red palette after this that I do prefer over this one, but at this point I'm still so in love with this brand that I probably will keep all of the palettes still. This is Winter Wonderland. This is such a cool palette because these shades are really hard to formulate, and the fact that they did such a great teal blue purple palette, the colors and the quality is just amazing. I love it. This is the Cool Trolls palette. This is a cool tone palette that is a little bit more colorful. They have come out with another cool palette that is a little bit more neutral after this, but this one has some cool tones, neutrals and mauves, and then some blues and purples leaning a little bit more cool toned. These blues are stunning. Stunning blues. This then is the Neutrals palette, which is more of a neutral palette leaning very golden and warm and brown and yummy. Just an incredible palette. I love this one. The red I think you can see it in the, can you? I don't know if you can. Yeah, you can see it here. It's like a red base with a green duochrome. Oh, so beautiful. Then we have the one that started it all. This is the Serenity palette. This is the one that they got really famous for. This color story is still one of my favorites from them. It's so stunning and beautiful. This just really great mix between muted, brights, light, dark, and some special shades. It is truly just a really incredible palette. The Delicious Delights is, I feel like their unsung hero. It's such a bright and fun palette. Really, yeah, like zesty. Such a fun palette. I really, really enjoyed this one. This is the Undergrowth palette, one of my favorite palettes of last year. It's a grungy green palette with a couple of neutrals. Absolutely stunning. This is actually their first palette. This is called Royal Rose. This is the first palette they came out with, but they did not strike gold with this one. They weren't famous until the Serenity palette came out, but I still have their first palette. I'm feeling a little bit like with the Kaleidos, the first one that is like people's unsung hero. I'm kind of holding on to this one for like just a remembrance of like the fact that I am honored to have their entire collection, honestly. This is the Lovers palette. This one came out this year as their Valentine's palette. So this is almost like a tarot card, and it was like a tarot card, the palette that just came out was inspired by as well. It's called Death, like a tarot card but with death. So this is what this palette looks like. This is a little bit more, it's almost giving me like Art Nouveau. I'm trying to be, it's almost giving me like Art Nouveau a little bit. It has some pastels, it has some dark tones, it has some neutrals, some colors. It is a little bit grayscale, but not so grayscale so that I feel like it looks dusty. Loving these pastel shades, they're incredible. This like, almost like rosy neutral corner down here is incredible. I'm loving the murky greens up here. This palette is just stunning. I absolutely love it. I'm not getting rid of any of those. They're so beautiful. The last one that we have here is actually my pile of the full size of Natasha Denona. Will I get rid of any of these? I mean, that's the question, right? That's the question. Will I get rid of any of my Natasha Denona? Because you know that I have been loving this brand for so long. And will I keep all of them, or will I get rid of some of them? So some of these are a little bit more on the older side, and I don't love all of these. Like the pastel palette, I still think that this is a really fun palette. I think this is better than their mini pastel that they came out with. I do think I want to keep this one. And we have the Glam palette. I never use this one. Like, I never, ever use this one. Do I need to? Should I keep the midi palettes just because I have all of them? Because I have all of them. This is really good quality, the golden one. Not my favorite color story, but the quality is great. The quality of the I Need a Nude is also incredible. This is a little bit too grayscale for me. The Roxa palette is one of my favorite palettes from the brand. I actually really enjoy this one. I love the mix of the purples together with the rosy and the reds. I think it's such a great color. So it's the color combo of purple and red, but made wearable. This is probably my favorite palette from the brand though. This is the Yucca palette. I mean, I love this one. I think it's beautiful. I think it's greens and murky tones made like wearable at Sephora. Bronze palette is maybe my favorite neutral palette from the brand because of how like warm it is. I love a super warm palette like this. The I Need a Warm palette is probably the palette where I'm like, where is the warm in this? Because I feel like next to the bronze palette, which I think is a warm palette, I just feel like, oh my gosh, I just feel like it almost looks like more like a neutral leaning palette. Like it's not even that warm. There's like one or two warm shades in there, and I feel like the I Need a Warm palette is a warm palette for people with a cool undertone. This is probably my least favorite color story from Natasha Denona in her midi palette. This is the Retro Glam palette. I think that this is just too desaturated. And I think all of the dark shades are like satins and shimmers. And I don't know. It wasn't my favorite. I love this one. This is one of the first midi palettes that came out. This is or is this the first midi palette that came out? This is the Sunrise palette. Oh, I mean, I told you. I love these warm tones. I love these colors. Then we have the Xenon palette. For me, this all looks the same on my eyes. because again, I do have a little bit more of a neutral golden undertone. And for me, when I swatch this on my skin tone, they all look gray. The descriptions are like pink undertone, blue undertone. If you don't have a cool undertone, they are all gonna look like gray. So for me, this is not a favorite palette at all. Love the Love palette. I don't even know if this one is still available. This is like the Roxa palette. The Love palette is just the same kind of idea. But instead of being, this is a pink and red palette with a pop of purple. This is a purple palette with a pop of pink and red. And this one is also more muted than this one. This one is way warmer than the Roxa palette is. So they're like a similar vein, but like not the same thing. Then we have the Sendo palette. I feel like this palette got a lot of like hate when it came out, but I honestly think that this palette is so beautiful. I've done really good looks with this one and I really enjoy it. I wish there was something that was even darker in this palette, but again, it's not hard for me to reach into something else. And then we have the My Dream palette. This is beautiful. It's like really moody berries together with some rosy neutrals and then some like this like really cool toned hypermetallic and warm toned hypermetallic. Quite honestly, it's a great quality color story. Then I have, oh, the retro palette. I love this one. This one, berries from really light. One of such a beautiful, like almost white pale pink. This palette is great quality. I love this one. Then I have 3 full-size palettes. So the Circo Loco, not great. But I feel like this one I'm just saving for the memes at this point. For the memes, I should say. And this is the Triachrome palette. Same here, saving it for the memes. This one I don't think is as good quality as some of our other palettes. And then one of the best quality palettes the brand's ever released, also signed by Natasha Nona. I did meet her and she signed my palette. This is the Metropolis palette. This is a beautiful color story. It is really toasty, warm neutrals together with the murky greens. It is almost like the bronze palette meets the this one. Oh my god. Wait, don't mind me. Don't mind me. Ooh. Okay. I got this. So it is almost like this palette meets, hold on, everybody hold on, meets this palette with a pop of blue, right? It is like the bronze palette meets the Yucca palette with a pop of like blue and like tealy green. That's what I think this palette is. And quite honestly, what is there to be upset about? I don't think, I got rid of a lot of mini palettes by Natasha Nona, but I think I'm gonna keep these, like I said, for the memes, because I love this brand and it's a brand where I actually have tried pretty much every palette and it still makes sense every now and then to bring it out. So even though I know I won't be doing this full time, I actually want to keep these. I want to save these. So I will, because at the end of the day, it's my collection. We are getting, I want to say we're getting to the end of it, but I don't even know if that's true. We're getting to the end-ish of it. I have a couple of like newer palettes here, but before we do that, I do have a couple of more older palettes that I want to get through that I have in this pile here before we get into this one. Here I have some Artitude Cosmetics and I have some Blend Bunny palettes. So let's do those first before we get into some of the non-organized palettes. And all of the non-organized palettes are unorganized because they're either have been released this year or because I recently featured them in a video. This is one of my favorite palettes from Nomad Cosmetics. This is the All Done Up palette. This one is just a beautiful neutral palette. For me, this is a neutral palette. I know it has some colors in here. I love the quality of this one. Definitely saving it. Then we have the Donnie Darkowitz palette, the Little Miss She Never Misses. This is a nice palette, but it's not my favorite palette from Blend Bunny, and I feel like I can get these shades from other palettes. I also feel like this entire row is on my skin tone. They look extremely similar. Also on my skin, both of these two shades are pretty much the same shade. I can get these kind of colors from other palettes from Blend Money, so I'm actually going to get rid of it. We have the original blends. I mean, I'm definitely keeping this one. This is the matte rainbow palette. Then we have the dollhouse palette. This is a more cool tone neutral palette. I haven't reached for this in a bit, but I do think I'm gonna save this one because it does serve a purpose. Then we have the divination palette. This is the collab with Robert Welsh. This is a really beautiful one, and I actually really like like the neutral row here. I've actually used that more than once outside of YouTube, and I've really enjoyed it. I also really like how these shades here go together. I think he did a great selection in his palette. I'm definitely keeping that one. We have the Sugar and Grunge palette that has been renamed the Sugar and Spite palette, I think. I don't own the new version, but I own the old one, and this is a beautiful palette. I'm so happy it's back. I'm definitely keeping this one. It is stunning. The Primal palette has been discontinued, but I think she was talking about maybe bringing this back. This is like a rainbow palette, but it's extra bright, and it has some shimmers in here. I'm gonna save this again for the memes, the Surge palette. This one had a little bit of a tumble. I love this one. It has a row of like neons here. I think you can see here how neon they are. They're like true neons. It's been a long time since I used this. It's been discontinued because the neons are really hard to source at a somewhat affordable price. But dang, this palette, I love this palette. I kind of want to bring it out and use it again. Oh, it's such a fun palette. Definitely keeping that one. It's one of the first Blend Money palettes. I'm so proud of Blend Money, which is crazy because like I've talked to Maggie, but we're not friends. But I feel like I've been with her for like such a long part of her journey, and I'm so proud of how she's built her brand. This is the Machina palette. I know that I have said that I think this palette doesn't look appealing to me. There's something about this row being here in the middle. I still love that this row is here, but there's something about how it's laid out that makes it look unappealing to me. With that being said, the colors in here are stunning, and I do like the color story on the eyes. Just it's how it's laid out in the palette. I do like it though. I'm gonna keep that one too. Then we have the Lin's Makeup Looks Right, but it's like the Lin's palette. I really like this palette too. I think that this one is a rainbow palette with a little bit of unusual undertones, and I really like what I've done with it. I'm gonna keep that one. Then we have the Plastic palette. I really hope we get to see more palettes from Blend Money in this format. With that being said, this isn't my favorite color story from the brand, but I still love how this palette is the idea of this palette. I really hope we get to see more smaller palettes like this from Blend Money. It's just not my favorite color story from them. So I'm gonna get rid of this one, but I really hope we get to see more small palettes from the brand. How is their hairs everywhere? This, I'm saving it only for the memories. I don't use it. It's so old. Like this is the Makeup Geek and Manny MUA palette. This is so old that it's like I need to get like a walker for this one. I need to plan for retirement. I really should be looking at a home for this one because this one I need to pre-chew its food. Like that's how old this palette is. But I'm keeping it because this one reminds me of, again, a time where I saw nothing but positive things about the beauty community. And I opened this palette and I remember me getting this palette. I remember sitting by the computer for an hour. The whole place was freezing down and I couldn't get it. And I remember when I got it and I got the confirmation and I was so happy. I was so happy, and what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Definitely keeping it again for the memories. And oh, I also have another Bella Beauté bar. This is the Morally Grey palette. I'm actually going to get rid of this one because this is a very gray palette. I don't do a lot of grays. Nothing wrong with the quality. Just grays are not, they're not my favorite. I think, oh my god, if there's anything you're going to take away from this video, it's going to be Angie's favorite is not grays. You can take that away from this palette. Oh, we have the Longing palette from Blend Money here. This is more of a cool tone palette. I'm going to keep this one because I do think that there's a point in having some cool tones in my collection. This is a great scale that I don't usually go for, but I love Blend Money quality. And you know what? I do need maybe one palette like that in my collection. So it could be that one. Love the Lure palette. Like, look at how... look at like this row here. Look at how these... Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. I want to use this now. Even these tones here, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Definitely keeping it. Then we have a couple of palettes from Artitude Cosmetics here. I do have even more palettes from them. We're going to see them coming up probably in real soon because they have released a couple of more palettes this year. This is the Vintage Neutrals. I like this palette, but I don't love it. With that being said, I think I'm going to keep it, and I think I'm going to keep the Urban Neutrals too. I don't think they're neutrals, but I don't hate them as like a color story. We have the Ink and Roses. I think this one was released this year. This one I feel like is one of those, like, again, it's, for me, this is a neutral palette, but if you are a neutral lover, you will probably see this as a colorful palette. I feel like this is a really good, like, a bridge palette in between. Then we have the Metamorph palette. Oh, this is so pretty. It's so pretty. I do think, I've said this before, I think it has like one too many pops. That makes it like a little bit like one too many pops. I think that maybe putting these two next to each other, it just, again, I'm being very, very petty, but I really do like this palette. And also the Obsession palette, like, look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Stunning. Stunning. Love it. So yeah, I'm gonna keep all of these palettes actually from Artitude Cosmetics. I think they're absolutely stunning. Where can I fit these? Do they fit here? Do these fit here in this little box? Maybe. Okay, I have a pile here. I have this one, the Nomad Pacific Northwest palette. This is one of their newer ones. I freaking love this one. There's something about this background. It doesn't really showcase how actually beautiful this color story is, but it is stunning. We're definitely keeping that one. Where am I putting these things? And then we have another Artitude palette here. This is the Submerged palette. This is more like a darker and jewel tone palette. I'm really enjoying this one too. I'm not loving the front, but I do love the inside of it. And I also think that this one matched together with another one of these palettes to bring in some more light colors would be amazing. Then we have the Crown Legacy by Glaminatrix. This is one of their newer palettes. Not my absolute favorite color story from them, but I'm gonna hold on to it for a little bit. This is the Coalescence palette that Nupur did together with Bella Beauté Bar. Really interesting and fun color story. I love that she did some different textures in here and that she stayed very true to like her like aesthetics in this, and I really, really do enjoy it. So I'm gonna hold on to this one as well. Ooh, there are three of the, I'm gonna see if I can find the other Oden side. This is the Broken Jewels palette by DD Signature. This is the best palette they've ever done. This is stunning. This is like 10 out of 10, no notes. Love it. So good. You know what? There is a note. Couple of these metallics are a little loosely pressed in the pan. That's the only notes I would give, but quite honestly, stunning, beautiful, love it, incredible, really incredible palette. Really, really love it. And this is what I'm saying. This is DD Signature just excelling. It's such a good palette. Okay, let me just pull out some others, and when I'll find the other Oden side, we'll do that one. This is the Colourpop and Shrek palette. This is actually one of the palettes that surprised me most this year, because I've said this year, Colourpop has been a little bit in the flop era. I haven't loved the palettes that they released, but this one, I actually really like. I like the color story. I like the quality. I think they did a really, really good job with this one. So I am going to hold on to that one. I also got the Apothecary of Color by Coven Cosmetics, I think. They re-released their makeup this year, and this is like a bright color story. I like the color story in this, but as you can probably tell from my collection, I do have similar things to this in my collection. The mattes are a little sheer, buildable, but a little sheer, and I do like the looks that I've done with this, but I can get similar things to this in my collection with a matte formula that I like more. I was very impressed with the shimmer formula though. I did think that it was like really cool and very high intensity, especially like, of course, like this row, but like, as you've seen with my palettes, I have stuff like that in my collection, so I think I might get rid of that one. Oh, here's another Nomad one. This is the Witch City Salem palette. I really like this color story too. That's really beautiful, isn't it? Again, with the red and the purple and the green. I really like this shade up here as well. It's very, very intense. Really enjoy it. We're gonna keep that. Again, I'm probably gonna keep a lot of this new palettes. Nobody be surprised. This is the Unoriginal Nudes by Bella Beauté. They did a neutral palette. I'm gonna hold, I'm gonna hold on to this one because it's very new and I do like the quality of this one. This is one of those palettes that if I don't reach for it the next upcoming year, I might get rid of it, but I have been more into neutrals, so why not? This one was such a fun one. This is Adventure Time. This is a squishy palette, which I think is really fun. This is the collab they did. This is the Candy Kingdom. Such a fun palette. It just makes me really happy just to open and see. I really like it. Some of these shimmers in here are just absolutely incredible. Really, really like it. I've had a lot of fun with this one and I want to reach into it again. I kind of want to use this one together with that Night Flower palette from them. I think that would be incredible. Yeah, just really fun shades. I really like it. Here we have, Mocha Moment. This is by Gourmande Girls. I like it, but this is not my favorite palette from them. Again, I like it, but it's not my favorite neutral palette. Not my favorite neutral palette even, or like my favorite color story from them. I like the Peach Perfect more if I'm going to go for like a muted moment from them. I think I might get actually again, I'm trying to be a little ruthless. I'm doing the best I can. Here is one from Beauté Signature, Fearless Holiday. This one came out last year. It was meant to be like a Christmas, fall time, Halloween, and Thanksgiving, or was it winter, Christmas, Halloween, fall, all in one? I don't remember exactly, but it was meant to be like more like a holiday, fearless holiday season, like more than one holiday, more than one season in one palette. And I think it's beautiful. Yeah, this one is definitely winter because it's like old chai latte, winter sparks, cold weather, holiday, festive, fireplace, forest, moody autumn. Okay, so fall, and then pumpkin patch. Yeah. Okay, stunning palette. I recently used this one. It's just beautiful. Great quality. This is like around when this one came out is when everybody started to notice that Beauté Signature truly just went and did the thing. This is my husband's gonna be editing this and he's gonna be like, what on earth is going on with makeup brands? This is Tones of Turd by Nomad Cosmetics, and yes honey, this is inspired by poop. Feast your eyes. I can already, like, I can hear his eye roll. He's gonna be like, what on earth is going on here? But yeah, this was an April Fool's joke that they made, and then everybody loved it so much that they ended up doing it. Honestly, the quality is stunning. One of the best quality palettes that Nomad has ever done. Love the color story. Definitely keeping that one. Then we have, this is the Ellis Atlantis Round 2, the shimmery palette from Blend Money. Definitely keeping this one. It's really fun. Let me see if I can fit that into the Glaminatrix one. Then we have, the Ocean Jewel by Bella Beauté. This is one of their best color stories. Unfortunately, a bunch of these shimmers do crease on me, but I'm so inspired by this color story that I quite frankly don't care. I will fuss with it. I will babysit it. I will bend over backwards to get that formula to work because look at this. Look at this color story. It's so fun. It's so beautiful. Absolutely obsessed with that one. I really love it. Here is their last one from Oden. We'll do that in a bit. Here's the matte one. So I have the warm matte one. I think I have the, or do I? It's here somewhere. Is it this one? It might be this one. Yeah, the cool matte one as well from Blend Money. I'm gonna keep these. No, I'm gonna keep the warm one. I'm not gonna keep the cool one. Like, I don't wear these tones. I don't wear grays. The 2 rows of grays. Where am I going with that? I don't need that. I'm gonna get rid of the cool tone one. I'm gonna save the warm tone one. I understand who this is for, but again, say it with me. I don't love grays. I really don't. The Street Fighter and Game Beauty palette. Don't love the packaging, but this color story is so fun. I love the tones that they did in this one. Such a fun palette. Definitely keeping it. I kind of want to dig into these shades again. I love the look that I filmed with this palette was great. I want to use these again. Love the color story. Really enjoy it. Definitely keeping it. Oh, here is the Arcana palette by Artitude Cosmetics. This might be the palette I actually get rid of. Because this is, you can see this is a very gray tone over it. And even though I do like the Artitude Cosmetics quality, this isn't a palette I'm gonna reach for because it is so gray toned. If you like more muted colors, you might like this, but I'm gonna get rid of it because it's not perfect for me. This is Glamour Cosmetics Timeless Tones. Same here, nothing wrong with the quality, but it's just very cool toned nudes with a couple of gray toned muted colors. I have some palettes from Glamour I really love. I don't need to keep this one. This one though, are you kidding me? Bonfire. Hold on to your panties. It's so nice. I freaking love it. Again, it's just fiery, it's bright, it's muted, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. It's just so impactful. This is On Top of the World by Cleonad. This is an all shimmer palette that they came up with this year. The quality is stunning though. I don't love all shimmer palettes, but Cleonad topper shades, I'll make an exception for this one because it is really, really stunning. Okay, let me see if I can get rid of some of these that I am keeping and put them back into the little boxy box. Hello. And then we can do those Oden eye ones. Okay, here we go. So these are the season palette, the Elva season palettes that they came out with. Elva means fairy in Swedish. Oden's Eye has a Swedish owner, and a lot of the palettes are inspired by Swedish traditions or Swedish folklore. So this is a spring fairy, winter fairy, summer fairy, autumn fairy. I really like these color stories. These came out this year. This is the spring one. How's their hair everywhere? Oh my gosh. Really fun color story. Let me see if I can pull these out so I can show you the color stories. Here's the winter one. I think I like the... you can see me. Hello. I think I like the spring one, this one the most, and it's simply because I had the most fun with it. I like it's bright, it's different. This one has a lot of like deep, really fun tones. I think the winter one, this one is the one, or like, is this the summer one? No, yeah, this is the summer one. That's the one that has my least favorite tones in it, simply because it is blue, but more of a turquoise blue, which isn't always my favorite. I'm gonna keep all of these because they're brand new and I love this brand, but I think this summer one is my least favorite one. I really enjoyed this one as well. I actually filmed even a second look with this one for my YouTube. This one has some really, really interesting tones in there as well, but I gotta say still, this is actually my favorite one. I really enjoy the tones in this, makes me really happy. I love the shimmers in here. There's enough contrast, loving the pop of blue, the bright pink. I think it's beautiful. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this. I think these are really fun. I've created some really good looks with it, and I do like the brand a lot. So let me put those to the side. Let me see what I have in this basket that's here in front of me, because I have a basket filled with makeup. Oh, here are these Morphe ones that I really didn't like. Giving it away a little bit. Oh, here's the new Smoky Glam. Oh, another Natasha Denona. So this is the reformulated Smoky Glam by Bella Beauté bar. This is the one that I'm keeping. Absolutely stunning. Here is the Witch's Familiar by Fantasy Cosmetica. I've heard from you, and I do agree to a point, that this color story is a little bit tricky to work with. I do love a pink and a red together though, and I really enjoy the palette. I will say some of these shimmers did crease on me, but I still think it's really good, so I'm gonna keep that one. This is the new palette, the Mini Gloom by Natasha Denona. I was not impressed with this one at all, quite honestly. I thought I was really gonna enjoy it, but I actually didn't. I'm gonna get rid of that one. I was just like, I was so meh about it, and I feel the same about this one. This is the Eye Sculpt and Texture and Tone palette. I am gonna keep this only because it's so expensive. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I'll make something with it, but I'm dead honest with you. I was not that impressed. A lot of these look very similar on the eyes, and I don't even think that this is the best quality the brand has ever done, but I'll save it. This is the Black Cherry by Simply Posh. I really love the shimmers in this one. The shimmers are incredible. Some very interesting tones in here. Really love it. Some of these shades are a little bit similar, not gonna lie, but I did really enjoy the quality. I am gonna keep it. Oh, I love this one. This is the Nevermore by Gourmande Girls. This color story is... Oh, so inspiring. So inspiring. Absolutely love it. I also really love the Trap palette. So fun. Like these shades here. Are you kidding me? I'm so excited. The Conjuring palette by Lethal Cosmetics. Again, I am saving all of their newer formulas. I really love the quality of this one, but the color story isn't my absolute favorite. With that being said, this palette helped me create one of my favorite looks that I've ever filmed on YouTube. So I gotta say, loving the pale pastels together with these dark tones here. I loved the look that I did so much. These Morphe palettes, okay, hear me out. These, not great. I know some people said that like the neutral one is okay. I know some people said like, oh, pastels are, it's only a wash of colors, they're meant to be sheer. No, they're not. No. I have showed you some pastel palettes here. Great quality. These, I'm sorry, these are not great quality pastels. These are so sheer and just meh. You don't, this color is great. The other ones, no. This one was way better. Way better than the other ones. This one, the bigger one, I didn't like this one either. So I'm gonna keep the neutral one actually. Again, for the sake of keeping it and because actually I didn't dislike it at all. But these two, I'm sorry, these aren't great quality. Can you tell in this video? I'm showing you hundreds of eyeshadow palettes. I know eyeshadow. I'm telling you right now, you can do better than this. These are not great quality. I'm sorry. They're not. This is from the Roots by DD Signature. This is one of their newer palettes. I want to play more with this one. Great quality. Not my favorite color story from them, but I need to play more with it. I really, like I said, love the new stuff from Bella Beauté Bar. This is the Adept Cosmetics, oh my gosh, EBE palette. Not my favorite from them. And I only say that because I'm a little bit disappointed with the mattes in this palette, but I will play with this a little bit more. I actually wish that this one wasn't in here. I feel like this red one is taking up it. I feel like it's too red for this palette. I don't think it fits in at all. I actually think it makes the palette look like a Christmas palette. I kind of wish they'd put something else in there. Maybe like a black metallic would have been cool in here. That's just my personal preference. I'm gonna keep it. I didn't dislike the quality, but not my favorite. Again, this is one of the best color stories they've ever made. This is the Dark Dreamscape by Bella Beauté Bar, one of their newer palettes. Look, I mean, look at this. Look. Are you looking? Are you really looking at this palette? Look at how beautiful this is. Again, some of these shades did crease on me, but I will babysit it. I will spoon feed this palette to make this work for me because this color story, so inspiring. And the mattes, so good. I will say a couple of these pastels here, a little weaker than I'm used to with Bella Beauté Bar, but the color story is just so inspiring to me. It just makes me really happy. Oh, this, I'm gonna do a ranking, like I said, of the palettes of the year. This will be very high up. Mattes, impeccable. Gradient, interesting. Like just going from a pastel lavender to this really grungy, almost gray purple, and then this green purple duochrome. Are you kidding me? Going from this khaki to this, oh, all of this so inspiring. This like going from peach to this terracotta with this peach, like fiery peach iridescent with the no notes. Fantastic color story, fantastic formula. I love this palette. This is the Gothic Romance by Earthly Cosmetics. Don't sleep on this one. One of the best palettes they've ever made. Then we have the Blembany Cosmetics and May Pang Rotten palette. An all matte palette. I will say, someone said that this one is a mix of muted colors, bright colors, light, dark, and more desaturated colors. And I agree. They are a little desaturated, which might be the reason why they're not perfect for me. I do think that this is a little bit of it, and again, I love a challenge, but this is a little bit more of a challenging palette, and I definitely like the quality. I just need to rethink this palette. Maybe I need to reorganize it. Should I reorganize this palette? And I also have, of course, the shimmer palette here. I've said this as well. It's nice. It's like an iridescent shimmer palette. I don't know if you can see the iridescence in the... They're nice. Not the best ones in my collection, but I'm going to keep them because they're not bad. Let me get a magnet. Let's reorganize this palette. Maybe that will help me see this in a different light. I do like a jumbled up palette, but I think this one is just too jumbled up for me. Okay, I used these two tools, but I was actually not, you can see I've even like, I was not able to get these two shadows out, so they are stuck there. So I put some dark shades down here, some pastels on the side, and I put some warm shades here. So I'm gonna have to, oh, there's a dark shade here, but I'm gonna have to build around like what I have basically, which is fine. Like it's definitely like not the end of the world. So let me see if I can start with a white up here, and I'm probably gonna do the dark shades down here, and I don't want to put that there because I don't want, maybe something like, let me I do think that I have good ideas. There we go. There we go. Okay, I feel like this makes more sense. So this is my Rotten palette after I changed it around a little bit. And quite honestly, there's eyeshadow here. Why? There's eyeshadow everywhere. Honestly, I like this better. For me, I don't even dislike a jumbled up palette, but with this palette, I think I actually needed it to be a little bit more organized for me. So I do prefer this one. So I'm excited to dig into this one again. I'm definitely keeping it. I just needed it to be making a little bit more sense. Let me get up the last little pile here before, I'm like, how's their hair and everything? Before we get into, well, even more palettes. This is the Frozen Kiss. Remember when I said before that I had a holiday palette from Gourmande Girls that I liked even more? This is the one. I'm definitely keeping the Frozen Kiss. I really, really enjoy this palette. I have the Cobra palette by Gerard Cosmetics. I don't love this palette. I don't think this color story is as good as some of their other color stories. I feel like this one is a little, it's a little one-noted. So I am gonna get rid of that one. Then we have the Nearly Natural palette. I think I might get rid of this one too. I used it again recently and I like it, but I don't love it from them. The Just a Taste palette from Unearthly is a really fun palette. Again, I just used this one again as well. Really, really nice palette. I really enjoy the shimmers in this palette. They're really, really good. So I'm gonna keep that one. And then this, of course, here is the Smolder palette by Cosmic Beauty. This is the Cool Tone Neutral palette. Not my favorite, but I've saved everything else from Cosmic Beauty. I really love this brand. And it's so funny. I was talking to Faye on Instagram about this palette when she was revealing it. And she said, just warning you, this will not be your favorite color story. I thought it was so funny because like she knows me so well. I don't do grays, but with that being said, I do like the quality of this one and I will keep it. Here are my other two palettes from Danessa Myricks. Remember I said that if I wanted a mini pastel palette, I have this one from Danessa Myricks. I like the quality of this much more better. Yes, that's proper grammar. Thank you very much. Much more than I like the mini pastel from the Natasha Denona, so I'm keeping that one. Here is the Lightworks Volume 7. When I used this palette, was a little bit disappointed by this. I've swatched this entire palette and I have used this palette only once as I'm filming this. When you're seeing this, I probably have used it again, at least once more. I think this one is very expensive. It is giving some of those indie palette qualities, but from Sephora. But because you're buying it from Sephora, it's also Sephora priced. So this quality, you can get this or better quality from Bella Beauté Bar, Adept Cosmetics, and I kind of recommend you to do that instead. When I'm filming this, I did a look where I used the neutral mattes. I think the mattes are not very blendable. They're kind of hard to blend, quite honestly, and the blues are extremely thick and goopy and textured on the lids, and they creased so badly so quickly on me. So I don't hate it. Some of these swatched incredible, and next time I'm using this palette, I kind of want to use some of these. There are less textured. I think you can even see when you look at this that some of these are like thicker quality, and I want to see how the other ones are. But just initial impression, swatching this one and using this one, I want to say you can get something better than this at half the price from an indie brand. It's not bad, but you can do better. With that being said, I'm still keeping it, okay? It was expensive. I'm getting my money's worth. Oh my god, who knew? This is the last pile. This one has been on the floor for a bit. It's got dust on it. So yeah, this is the last piles, plural, of palettes to go through. Can you believe we've been here? Well, I've been here all day. I don't know about you, but I've been here all day. So let me talk about a couple that I know for a fact I'm not getting rid of, and then we can go through some where I might get rid of some. These, like I said, are palettes that I've either used in videos recently or that are kind of new to my collection. Some of them unused. There are also my own palettes in here, or palettes from my friends that I'm definitely not getting rid of. So this pile, don't expect me to get rid of a lot. Let's just put it like that. Let's start with a couple of like from friends. This is the collab palette that my friend Ali Dawson did with Ofra. I'm keeping it because I love Ali, so clearly I'm keeping it. This is my friend Margeta Gas did a collab with Gloss Gods. This is Incendio, clearly keeping it, love her. This is Heather Austin's collab palette with Nomad Cosmetics. I mean, clearly keeping this one, love her. And this is my friend Samantha's collab palette with Ofra. Again, friend collab. This is the unused Hella and Oden's Eye. This is a totally unused copy. I just have this on my shelf to remind me that I was able to make this incredible palette, and I really love it. So clearly, I mean, I'm keeping my own palettes. I don't think anyone is surprised by that. And then this is the Little Ghost palette that we did for Halloween 2 years ago, I think. I mean, this palette brings me so much joy. I absolutely love this color story. It's just, for me, a very inspiring color story that brings me immense joy. I love this color story. And then, of course, we did the Trick or Treat palette. Again, this is a color story that brings me immense joy. Absolutely love it. I've had nothing but fun with this color story, and I love it. I'm so proud of all the palettes that I've done. And this is the Club Nebula palette. Mine is old, like old. This is the first collab palette that I was ever able to do, and it even has some cool tones in here, which I knew. Me doing collab palettes, I've always tried to walk the line of doing stuff that is 100% me, but also throwing in some things that I know will make the color story a smidgen more wearable, because I know not everybody wants a lime green. So I'm trying to always, like, you know, toe the line between making it wild and crazy and clowny. I think these two where I truly went to be my perfect clown, but also making something that is wearable. This I know is the unicorn for some people, the one that got away, but I gotta say I have done similar color stories to this after that I am even more proud of. And also, Formulas has come a long way since the Club Nebula, for sure. This is the It's Freaking Bats. This is the Batty Bean and Shroud collab. Mine has had a little bit of a tumble. One of the shadows has exploded. Gerard Cosmetics is unfortunately no longer with us, but I still have the palette. And I think I have the other one here somewhere too. I'm not sure where, but I should have the other one here somewhere too, I feel. But maybe we'll find that in a bit. This is one of my favorite palettes from Nomad Cosmetics. This is High Temp. I really hope they're able to like get this one back in stock, because quite honestly, this palette is stunning, beautiful, so fantastic. Like, I cannot recommend it enough. I absolutely love it. Definitely keeping that one. And then we have the ColourPop and Beauty and the Beast palette. I think this one I might get rid of. I love a yellow and brown color story, but even from ColourPop, I love the C3PO palette more than this one. So I might get rid of that one, actually. Oh, here is the collab palette. My friend Heather Austin and Unearthly Cosmetics. This is the Resurgence palette. Clearly keeping it. Love Heather. Love this palette. Clearly keeping it. Oh, here's the other one. Here's the other Batty Bean and Shroud palette. This is the Halloween palette. A little bit more of an interesting, I don't want to say unusual color story, but it's definitely a little bit more of a tricky color story. I love a good warm palette though, so I think it's a really fun one. This is ColourPop and the Mandalorian palette. Love the packaging. Not my absolute favorite color story from them, but I'm such a Star Wars fan. There's no way I'm getting rid of that one. This is the Harvest of Souls palette by Fantasy Cosmetica. This was the palette that I said was the best release of 2024. Clearly not getting rid of this one. Love the color story. Love the shimmers. Love the way that all of these colors go together and create just new and interesting color stories. Love the pops of the pastels together with the murky tones, with the berries and the cool tones and the warm tones. Absolutely obsessed with this palette. Really, really love it. This is the Lethal Cosmetics and Avatar The Last Airbender collab. Love these shades. This is the Earth one. And then we have the Wind one and the Fire one, or the Air one, I should say. The Fire one and the Water one. I love these palettes. The quality is beautiful. And like I said, these like newer things from Lethal Cosmetics, definitely saving. One of my favorite palettes from Fantasy Cosmetica, this is the Monk palette. How many times don't take a shot every time I say I love these warm tones, because you will be blackout drunk. Love this. Absolutely obsessed with this color story, the quality. Love, love, love. We also have the Ranger palette from them, and I gotta say, this is such a good color story. The mix between almost like neutrals with some warm tones, leaning a little bit cooler up here. It's just the brights with the muted, the light with the... It's a very good balanced palette that gives a lot of options. Really, really good one. Absolutely loving that one. Oh, here's another one from Cosmic Beauty. This is the Gothic palette. This is their only small palette. I feel like this is such an underestimated palette. It's so good. It's a monochromatic purple palette that has warm tones and cool tones, and I love this palette. Such a good palette. Definitely keeping. One of my favorite palettes from DD Signature, Drops of Fantasy, was released this summer. This is a rainbow palette that is just delicious. Like, look at this. It's got brights, it's got muted, light, dark, almost like some neon shades together with some light. It's just, I love this. I love the shimmers in the middle. It's just such an interesting rainbow palette. Obsessed with this one. Definitely keeping it. Here is my second Mothership palette. I bought this one this year. So this is the one that is called Mothership 12. Listen, I know my Roman numerals. Petal Morphosis. And this, I got the purple one. Yes, I did get the limited edition purple one. I actually really like this one. I know that people were like, oh, where's the greens? But you know what? There's 3 greens in this one, and they're all good quality. And I gotta be honest with you, I think this palette is great. I think it's great quality. I really like the looks that I've done. Yes, there are some pinks in here, but it just makes it a little bit more approachable. I don't hate the palette at all. I actually think it's a really good palette. And is it my favorite palette in my collection? No, but it is a good palette. And why is this... Sweet packaging, please. Oh my god. Okay, hold. I'm trying my best here. Back and in the packaging. This is the Nomad Polar Express. I'm pretty sure this one came out last year from Nomad. I like this one a lot. The blues here, I've actually reached for these blues quite a lot. And for the amount of times that I've reached into this palette to do these 2 shades together, definitely can't get rid of it, because I have reached for this quite a lot. I do enjoy it. Oh, here's the other. Here's the Soul Moon 2 palette from Oden's Eye. This is like a rainbow palette, again with a little bit of a twist. I do like the undertones in this. I like the quality of this. I've had a lot of fun with this palette. Definitely keeping it. Oh, this is the Citrus Punch by Simply Posh. Love this color story. Pinks and oranges. I love pinks and oranges together for like a really nice zesty look. This palette is beautiful. They did reformulate this palette and bring it out again. I don't know if it's still available, but if it is, I 100% recommend it. It is stunning. This is, let me see, I have another pile here. This is the Hang Wengo palette. This line came out this year at Sephora. I got the green one. This is, can I just say, the fact that this is at Sephora is giving me hope for the future. I really like the undertones of these. These are not the best quality eyeshadows even at Sephora. They're good, but they're not amazing. You can definitely do better for the same price tag somewhere else. But I just love that these are at Sephora. And I did love the look that I did with this. It's just not as effortless as some of my favorite formulas, but they're not bad. And I'm keeping this because I want to follow this brand and see what happens in the future. This is DD Signature and Mariam, I think it's Tutorials. This is Golden Tides palette. I really enjoy. I've done one look with this palette and I really want to do at least in like one more. I just have not had time. But I actually really love the quality of this. It is incredibly pigmented. I really enjoyed the look that I did, and I definitely want to play more with it. I am keeping that. I was very impressed. This is Colourpop and the Grinch palette. How the Grinch Stole the Christmas. This one just came out. You know what? I like this more than I thought I would. I'm definitely keeping it. We'll say the squishy shades in the middle, you can even see how squishy they are. They're a little bit more squishy than I prefer. But I quite honestly like this palette, and I like the looks that I did with it. I'm definitely keeping it. I still have the packaging for this. Look, it's an advent calendar. Like, and you can open the... I think I'm gonna just keep this packaging. I think the packaging is so cool. I get such cool packaging. So this is the Christmas palette from this year from Nomad. It's the Christmas market. Christ Kindelmarkt. Again, you said I wasn't awful, but I feel awful when I say it. And this is what it looks like. This is brand new in my collection. I need to use this one a little bit more. Not my absolute favorite color story from them, but I still do enjoy I enjoy it for what it is, and I have enjoyed working with it, and it's swatched out really pretty. But yeah, it's definitely too new for me to like fully make up my mind about it. Again, this video is very much pre-filmed also. When you're seeing this, this has been filmed for a long time, okay? So I'm very much pre-filming so when I say I haven't made up my mind, I most definitely have made up my mind when you're seeing this video. This is the Moon Shroom palette by Lunar Beauty. This is probably my favorite color story that they ever did. I think it's a really nice, interesting, like a moody, grungy, but still bright. Like I said, most interesting color story that they ever did. This is the Magnetic Mineralia palette by Diveroon? I have no idea. This is my first and only palette from them, and they did this collab with Andromeda, and I did meet Andromeda at a Creator Friends, and I enjoyed their personality so much, I enjoyed them as a person so much, so I really wanted to support them in this collab, so I did buy it actually when I was at the Creators and Friends. And this isn't my perfect color story because it is a little bit gray toned, but I do really enjoy, oh my god, there's hairs here as well, holy bananas. I do really enjoy the tones in the corner here, and the quality of the mattes are incredible. Some of these shimmers are a little bit emollient and flaky, and I think they might crease on me, but I need to play more with this for sure, so I'm definitely keeping it. This is the Come Play With Us palette from Bella Beauté Bar. This is I think this is the Halloween palette that they did this year. But I mean, it has almost like a little bit of a Christmas color story. So I feel like this one will go over from Halloween into a more holiday, like Christmas palette. Quite honestly, I really enjoy playing with this. I did a look with only the red shades and I freaking loved it. And I got so many compliments. It is swatches incredibly, and I didn't actually have any problems with this one creasing on me, which gives me a lot of hope for the future, and I really enjoy it so far. This is the Simply Pot Gingerbread Bakery palette. This is their holiday palette, and this one has some pastels together with some shimmers. I will say this isn't actually my favorite quality from them. I did feel like a couple of the pastels were a little thin. And you definitely can make pastels that are very opaque and thick and like just luscious. I didn't really feel like these were that. Again, I need to play around with them a little bit more before I make up my mind. But I did want to let you know that that was my initial impression when I did look with it. And this is the holiday palette from Oden. This is the Ice Crystal palette. Like I said, I do like this color story more than I like the other big palette that I had. The shimmers in here have some really interesting shifts and undertones and just textures, and I really did enjoy this. This palette though is too light for me to use on its own. I will definitely need to use this together with other shades in the future now that I have reviewed it, but I do really enjoy the quality of these shades, and I really enjoy, like I said, especially the pastel mattes, and the shimmers are really incredible. So I need to play around more with this one, and especially together with other shades. Here we have when this is being when I'm filming this video, they actually haven't shown this palette yet. This is the Death, like the tarot card Death from Cosmic Beauty. This is the palette that they're coming out now for Black Friday. And like I said, when you're seeing this, this has already been both revealed and released. I still have not even swatched out this palette. I filmed one look with this palette. I used the purples and I used the silver up here, and I absolutely loved it, and the look was incredible. I'm filming my second look with this one, I think actually maybe tomorrow. So first impression from this one, same quality from that I know and love from the brand. I really enjoy that there are a couple of like more mustardy tones here, so that you can warm up the look if you actually need to, because again, I don't love an all gray look on me personally. But I am excited about this color story. It's very, it's giving the gray, purple, and red, but with a different twist in the middle here. And I'm enjoying that. So I cannot wait to play more with that. This is the palette that they came up with recently. This is the Starlight Society. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. This is also Cosmic Beauty. Expect to see this palette very high on the ranking this year, because I am actually pretty obsessed with this palette. Again, it has almost jewel toned, it almost has like 70s carpet colors, some jewel tones, blues, pastels, brights. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. This color story is incredible. Quality is incredible. This is the Tiny Marvels palette, the collaboration between Mel Thompson and Sydney Grace. Unfortunately, Mel Thompson is no longer with us. I still think about her on a weekly basis, and this is the collab palette that she did. I'm never getting rid of this. I will cherish this palette for the rest of my life for sure. This is Nomad Cosmetics Beauty Below. This one came out this year. Very nice jewel tone palette, and I think that these shimmers are the best shimmers that Nomad has ever done. I feel like this is a very inspiring palette, and I feel like this one together with the pastels from May Pang could be incredible. Honestly, the more I think about it, I really want to use those two together. I like this quality a lot. Definitely keeping. Here we have the Not Normal by Unearthly. This is the reformulated one. Love this color story. Love all about this. Definitely keeping. I think it's beautiful. Look at this emerald. Oh, so beautiful. Oh, Love Language palette. The Oden's, why am I over here? The Oden's Eye palette that they did together with Morgan Turner. This one came out for Valentine's Day. This is a beautiful palette. Not my perfect color story, but I do appreciate Oden's Eye offering this color story, because I think that not everything can be super bright and like just light, bright candy colors. I appreciate them bringing something like that, like this in. And I think she did a really good job. There's a pink quad, there's a neutral quad, there's a darker purple, and then there is this like really bright purple with this really nice pastel together. I just honestly think that she did a great job with this palette. Here is the Gloss Gods Dancing Lights palette. This is really stunning. I had a lot of fun with this palette. I'm pretty sure they brought this palette back. Like it got restocked again. I know they changed their affiliate program a bit. I think you still can use code Angelica. I'm not 100% sure. I am affiliated, but I don't know what my code is, and I've asked them to, I have no idea. But use somebody's code and get some money off at Gloss Gods. But this palette, absolutely stunning. I know it's back in stock. Oh, there's a couple of ColourPop palettes here. Oh, here's another Gloss Gods. This is Vintage Glam. Mine has been through the ringer. Like, look at how this one looks. Maybe I can get rid of that one. Maybe I with good conscience can get rid of that. Did I get rid of any palettes at all? Like yeah, no. This was the pile of palettes I really loved, so nobody should be surprised. This is the Twilight and New Moon palette. I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. I like the color story of this one. I just don't know if I love all of the quality of this. And also there's two glitter shades that are very gritty. You know what? Let's get rid of that one. I love the color story of the Beach Dreaming palette. I really do. I gotta be honest with you. This brings me more joy than I can say. This is the Lilo and Stitch palette. There's something about like these together with these. It just makes me happy. I want to save that one. Then we have the Tangle palette. This makes me so sad because I really like this color story with the yellow and the purple, but I think this quality is very meh. So I'm gonna get rid of that one. Then we have the Nomad Cosmetics Sickly Sweet palette. I think this one has been re-released as well. I don't have the re-released one. I only have this one. I think they changed a couple of shades, if I'm not totally mistaken. I like the quality of this one a lot, so I will be keeping that one. Whoa, not me throwing things around. Sorry if I blow. I hope my husband was nice enough to lower the voice for that one. This is the Gloss Gods Let's Pop palette. It's a nice purple palette. Do I need to keep this? You know, I'm gonna get rid of that one. And then we have the Let's Get Nude by Gloss Gods. I do kind of enjoy this one though. Let me wait with this one a bit. Call of the Sirens by Gourmande Girls. Really nice palette. Very dark and nice, and just I love the pop of almost like the bronzy orange here. Really nice palette, definitely keeping that. This is the Thinking of You from Nomad Cosmetics. This isn't my absolute favorite color story from them, actually. So I might get rid of that one. Then we have the Murky Meadow. This one I really like. Really, really like this one. We're going to keep this one, but I am going to get rid of the Shadow Petal because, again, this isn't my perfect color story. And if I'm looking for something like this, I quite honestly will probably reach for the Retro palette by Natasha Denona. Then we have, oh, here is the blush palette by the Mermaid Magic by Gourmande Girls. I should put this together with my cheek products. I will save this one. I want to use that again. I actually really liked it. Ooh! Bitten palette. Look at how deep and dark this is. This was like a vampire themed palette that came out for Valentine's Day from Gourmande Girls. Look at how fun this is. Definitely keeping it. Really loving it. This is the Green Goddess by Bella Beauté Bar. Not my favorite color story from them. If I'm looking for this color story with these kind of green contrasts, I actually will do the Secret Garden. I think I might get rid of this one. You know what? Good for me. Spectrum palette by Sigma. I think this is the most unspicy neutral palette I've ever seen in my life. Nothing wrong with the quality. I just don't understand why they decided to be so mellow with this. Not my favorite from them. DD Signature Shattered Romance. Not my favorite formula from them. I think these shades are a little bit too squishy. I think this is probably the old formula. And I like the new one better, so I'm gonna get rid of that one too. Colourpop and Coca-Cola. I bought these myself because I thought this was a fun collab, but I don't like the quality of these. This is definitely not the good quality from Glamlight. I don't think that these palettes were awesome. This one, I feel like this one got a lot of hate, the Natasha Denona Bloom palette, but I really like it. I really like it. It's like warm, peachy, like a pinky, peachy, bricky, for me, neutral palette, and I quite honestly really enjoy it. I don't know why this got so much hate. I think it's great. I think it's a beautiful palette. I've loved the looks that I've done with it. Definitely keeping that one. And then this one, I liked it more than I thought. I bought the Lord of the Rings palette by Glamlight. I actually really enjoyed this one. I think this is an unusual color story for being Glamlight because they have a tendency of releasing the same color stories again and again, but this isn't that. And I think they did a great job, and I'm actually really impressed with this one. So I'm gonna keep that one too. Oh, I have some new ones here. Oh, here is the Hot Stuff, Casper and Hot Stuff with I have no idea what was going on here. I was very confused by this collab. Again, this palette has some great shades, but it also has some mess shades. I hate the packaging. Like you can hear. You hear that packaging. You got ears. You hear what's going on. This is the blue palette. This is the Beautifying Eye Trends Denim Dimension by Charlotte Tilbury. Not great packaging, but I will say the quality is pretty nice. I'm gonna save this one. I do want to do a full face of Charlotte Tilbury, and I definitely want to film another look with this one for that. Then, okay, let me decide on this one. Should I get rid of this one? I'll get rid of it, because again, I can't be. This is, as I'm filming this has just been revealed. This is the Artificer palette by Fantasy Cosmetica. This is like a neutral palette it's like a neutral palette with a little bit of a peach undertone. I think it's really pretty. I look forward to doing something with it. As you can tell, I haven't done anything yet because I've been a little bit busy. And also, I haven't done anything with this. This one came out this summer, but they did do a pre-order, and I didn't get a hold of this until very much later. This is Down to Earth by Simply Posh Cosmetics. Really love the color story. Of course, I'm gonna do something with it. It looks incredible. Just have not had time yet. But like, this is you can tell. This is my kind of color story. It looks incredible. I cannot wait. I don't need to keep this packaging though. We can get rid of that one. And then we have, oh, this one hasn't been, as I'm filming this one hasn't been revealed yet. But as you're seeing this, it definitely will be. This is the Holiday palette by DD Signature, the Festive Elegance. Yeah, you can tell it's even got the plastic still. This is what it looks like. Again, this is my kind of color story. Red, yellow, green, warm. Seems really interesting. It's almost giving a little bit of a Christmas theme, but a little bit muted, and I'm loving the dark tones. And there is a really light one. I think I'm gonna love this one. I'm very excited, but yeah, I haven't done anything with it. I also have the Other Side by Clarity Cosmetics. Again, haven't done anything with it. Just got this. Let's get rid of the paper. This is a little bit of a spider, and then the color story is really, really interesting. It's got like some berries, a blue, a green. It's very interesting. I'm loving the pops, but I still think it all goes together, so I cannot wait to try this one out. And then of course, oh my gosh, look at this table. Finally, I have the palettes from my own brand, Cinch Beauty. This is my own beauty brand. This is the brand that I started. This palette, Galactic Visitor, came out last year for Black Friday, so this is now 1 year old, and this is what it looks like. This is my baby. I really love it. I worked really hard on this. It's got some dark shades, it's got cool shades, light shades, iridescent shades. It's just, I really worked hard on this formula to make sure that it is beautiful and smooth on the eyes, even if you are like me, I'm in my 40s, but also doesn't crease on the eyes. The second palette we came up with was the Agate Temptation, and this is those kind of like warm murky tones that I love, greens, but also like a little pop of a cool tone up here. I mean, this is my kind of shades. You know, I love shades like this. Very, very proud of it. And then we just came out with the Paisley Hoot, which is our neutral palette. Love how we did this packaging. It turned out so good. I love that it's almost like a sprayed edge with like a book on the side. And this is the Paisley Hoot palette. Again, this is what I like with neutrals. Different undertones, different textures. We have like very sparkly metallics. We have a white, we have a dark brown, cool tone greens, a little bit of like, almost like it's grays with a green undertone, mustards and some browns. I love this. And there's a wet look shade here that has like almost like a periwinkle blue sparkle, and then a rose gold that is a very also wet looking on the, like I love it because I made it, but I'm very proud of what we did. And I also cannot wait to show you the fourth palette that is going to be released hopefully soon. Well, I know it's going to be soon. I am going to do some counting, and we are going to see how many palettes I have decluttered. This might be a little bit messy. I'm going to do the best I can. I'll try to, I don't know. Pray for me. Pray for my husband editing this, but I'm going to try and count all the things I got rid of. I will say, I looked at the pile behind me. This is not all of it. And I'm very proud already without counting it, because again, I need a fresh start. I need a fresh start. Okay, let me start. 1, 2, 3. 116 so far. 116. Okay, let me get rid of these and let me bring up the basket with the mini ones. Okay, here is the last pile, and we were at, where were we? 116. Okay, 117, 18, 19, 20. $171, $172, $173. $173. You know what? I'm gonna pat myself in the back for that one. Good job, Angie. Like I said, I'm starting a new phase in my life. I feel good about it. I'm never gonna be a minimalist, but I am no longer keeping a freaking library, okay? I don't need to be the one who knows everything. I am okay with just, you know what? Really enjoying what I have. So hopefully this will be a nice fresh start for me. Hopefully this will be easier to move once we decide to move, once we decide where we're moving. And yeah, Thank you so much for watching though. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with me with some of my declutters? Do you disagree with me with some of my choices? I would love to hear thoughts down below. If you like this video, it really helps out leaving a comment, leaving a like, maybe sharing it with your friends so that I know that you enjoy watching this, because I will say, filming these, having these edited, they're quite the endeavor. They're quite the endeavor, so if you want to see this again next year, do let me know. And until then, I hope you're having a great day. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you. And my next declutter will be my lip products, which will be quite the feat as well. Bye.